The Soulguard, previously on the adventure traveled deep into the Underdark and then onwards to the elemental plane of Earth to hunt down a Zaratan, a mighty earthen elemental creature, for its heart was the key to several of their goals. It is a key component in a ritual being composed by the Lich Queen Kaiser to resurrect and unpetrify an ancient dead titan. It also happens to be this core of elemental energy, something which could operate as the components for a true resurrection. A spell that the party are in dire need of being cast, as their wonderful friend Maple had fallen some time previous. And so they ventured forth. They twisted and wound their way through moving, grinding tunnels and eventually came out on top, facing Lord Isiko and Ophelia the Twilight Witch, a Death Knight and an Archdruid, agents of Kaiser. But they emerged victorious. And so, in the past couple of weeks, past few days for them, the Soulguard have taken refuge on the elven island of Naratos, where the Sphinx of this cleric of Erlen, this Sphinx named Valanthe, cast true resurrection and resurrected Maple. They rested, and last session restocked some basic equipment, researched the past of the island, the doings of the dragon the party have had some dealings with, Cathel and Zara. They passed through the strange arcane defenses of the island and found some family. Hope, your party member from a time previous, has reconvened with you, and you found Hope's mother, and the family that she is currently staying with, as well as a new family. Untitled Chapter, apparently the cousin of our wonderful Hemlock. And so, as you, the Soulguard, rest inside this beautiful home twisted out of sun, jade, and stone, firelight flickering and sending orangish yellow light through this homestead, through the opaque walls, across the beautiful carpets of moss and beautiful tapestries and fabrics that decorate the space, the wonderful smells that arise as an evening meal is prepared. What do you all look like? We'll start with Nute. Jordan.
Why, hello there. I am Jordan. I play the wonderful boy Nute, who is a Way of the Sun Soul Durgar monk. Standing at about 3'7", quite a stocky build, has long white hair pulled back into a ponytail and a wiry beard with flecks of grass sewn in between. Typically goes around wearing quite loose-fitting, quite casual clothing. His body is also covered in some sick fucking elven tattoos, which can get hot when he needs to, and he's just here to do a good punch.
David.
Hello, I'm David. I play Markos Astreva. He is a 31-year-old human man, tan skin, a shock of black hair, and a bit of a little goatee beard. No, not a goatee beard, just a full beard. And he is a ranger rogue, a member of the Royal Adagani Infantry Gun Scouts. Trying to remember the word.
Rowan.
Hello. I play Hemlock, who is once was a half-orc, half-elf woman, about 6 foot tall, very thin, dark green skin, little pointed ears and pointed tusks. Walks with a staff to assist a heavy limp and has big Coke bottle glasses on her face. Although now she doesn't look as much like a half-orc, as she is covered head to toe pretty much in mushrooms that appear to be growing from her body, most noticeably a big shaggy ink cap mushroom that grows out of the back of her head with a veil of bridal veil mycelia hanging down that glows gently blue, and a little bracket fungus on her cheekbone. And then perched on her shoulder is her lovely familiar Lily, the glass frog, who has a little fly agaric mushroom growing out of her back. And may or may not be a zombie.
I don't know. Who are we to judge undead frogs?
This party is getting half
Megan.
down. A lot of the party.
Speaking of characters who may or may not be zombies.
Oh,
I play Maple now. Maple is a gnome. She is 3'4". She currently has dark black curled hair, shaved on the sides, braided down the middle, which has a single streak of her previous orange. She is pretty much covered in like dark black lightning-esque tattoos that follow her like bone system. She looks really cool. And she's also currently just in like some nice elven clothes because she came back from the dead, so she doesn't have any of her own shit at the moment.
You know what? She's probably drinking some water because we just got to hydrate.
Probably. She probably should.
I'm gonna hydrate with chalky milk because that's all I've got.
Hell yeah.
A true adult.
Yes,
No way.
holy shit.
That's kind of what she looks like, and she's very buff because she's a rogue barbarian. So.
Oh, yeah. So, you are also joined by Hope. I could hardly do justice to the descriptions that Prudence gives to the wonderful sorceress that is Hope Summerhold, with her brushed golden skin, slight draconic scales that come through, a half-elven but glorified appearance, a smattering of pinks, whites, and gold, her shorter cut hair, and Asimar appearance that makes her skin go from that kind of brushed tanned bronze to actually kind of glittery and gold. An icon of beauty across realms. So, as you guys are all...
Have you forgotten someone?
You have.
But he's so forgettable.
Is he now?
Alex,
Is
my
he
sweet
now?
boy. I know, because I knew I had to remember to do Hope, as I was like focusing on remembering to do Hope.
Well, you
You
just
know what?
described the party who actually own their own souls, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah. Well, you say that.
Hope. It's just.
Also, Hemlock? Maybe
There is
delve-
no.
Before we
don't know
delve
that.
into
You don't
all
know
of the
that.
intricacies of who owns what souls, Alex, who are you playing? What do you look like?
I am playing Ashura Takahashi. Thank God, Andrew, for you, for the fact that you remembered. I'm obviously not going to stay over too long on that fact. I'm very hurt, by the way. He is a 11 level bard, 2 level paladin. He is a drow, bold, tons of scars on his face. He's got some sunglasses on. He's got a long blue vest, dark blue vest with a lot of intricacies on it. Now he has a cropped up half plate. Weird, don't ask. He's got some gauntlets of ogre powers and a devil sword by his hip.
Perfect.
Also, Willow's here. I forgot about Willow. Willow's a jackalope.
Willow is
Hell
the
yeah.
Very
He's
forgettable.
such a good boy.
Yeah,
We have a lovely Marigold as well, who's also with
Marigold is
us.
also here. She's Maple's wife. She's
My
hanging
wife.
around.
My
My
wife.
wife.
So can't do that right now.
Yeah, she's here, but I'm not playing her anymore. Except for maybe a tiny bit later for a thing.
She's still present, and she's still in your control until she leaves the scenes.
Yes.
Speaking of, as you are all taken into this homestead, as Tiestra has welcomed you all in, bid that you take seats and imbibe in some fresh tea being brewed up by an invisible servant, conjured, not just an invisible slave, that is procuring some beverages for you all. You all beckon to sit down on these kind of comfortable lounges and stuff in this very large, open plan kind of living space. So, you all traveled a long way. Please make yourselves at home. So, is there anything we can do for you? How long are you going to be staying?
Well, we're not sure right now. We might. We actually came here to resurrect a friend, so as not long as I think is what we're staying for. As I look at the rest of the party, do we want to stay? Do we have anything to do here?
Not that I
Well,
No. Well, I think for myself, I'd like to talk with whoever knows a bit about magic. I have some questions about a sword I need dealing with. I know I think Nute wanted to do something also with tattoos, so we might stay a few days still. But yeah.
Well, with matters of arcane study, I've been around the block slightly. And she like wrinkles up her eyes, and you can see like, even for an elf, Tiestra is older. There are visible wrinkles across the eyes and kind of like around the cheeks. Her hair is like silvered, not through kind of elven silvery hair, but through age. You can see her natural hair is a darker brown, which still lingers in the eyebrows. Yeah, I might be able to help with arcane stuff. Tattoos, and she like puts her arms forward. She's wearing like this long flowing like hooded vest type arrangement, and it exposes her quite skinny arms, and she has like winding tattoos across them, which you guys I think saw last time. So she has these tattoos across her arms, which mostly are in like mostly black, like winding in different kind of texts, mostly in Elven and Druidic. There is a pattern of like a wolf moving up her left arm that is like a deep, like slightly glittering ruby.
That's cool.
So, if I can answer any questions, then I'll be surely glad to. Looks like you might have some catching up to do, and she kind of like gestures towards Hemlock and the dark brown skinned younger elven man Silen.
Yes. Yes, I'd appreciate that.
Well,
Yeah. That's weird.
I think the boy he's like the same age as you.
The boy.
I mean, he's a 19-year-old elf. He's young
Yeah,
for an elf, but he's by no means childish. Like elves don't like, it doesn't scale linearly, right? Like a 19-year-old elf doesn't act like a 5-year-old human. Like sitting off to the side, kind of to you, Hemlock. Silen says like, "Well, I'd be really interested to hear what happened to Uncle Asen and you. What do you do? I didn't see my cousin coming back. I mean, one at all, I guess. But resurrecting people? That's
Well, yeah, we've got up to a lot. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I had. This is not a conversation I ever thought I'd be having.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because this is weird. Well, I mean, it's getting kind of late now, but tomorrow I guess we can like sleep on it. I guess.
Yeah.
And, tomorrow we can I mean, we'll eat together, but we can chat over breakfast or something.
Yeah, if that's, I'll look to the other party. Like, if that's all right.
I mean, family meetings and all. You got to do it.
Yeah.
Family is important.
Yeah, even if you just met them 5 minutes ago? I don't know why I looked at my wrist, but yeah, 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, what would be on your wrist?
I don't know.
Oh, it's actually it's a Hokuri way of telling time where you look at how dry your skin has gone. You wouldn't understand it's a Hokuri thing.
Right,
the elderly elf kind of coming back around and gesturing for the a floating tray of biscuits to come around. I haven't told you I've met any Hokuri actually in person yet. I'm fascinated to hear how you guys got here.
Well, we actually both have a different story on how we got here, but we're both Hokuris. We come from different cities. I come from the capital. Nute here comes from.
I come from a much smaller town.
I mean, it's not that much smaller. It's not a village. It's maybe it's a village. I don't know. Yeah, it's small.
Alex truly does not know the difference.
We go back to fucking
Jordan,
Does it have 50 houses?
does your hometown have more than 50 houses?
Does it have more than 50 houses, though?
That's the problem of being a foreign guy, okay? Anyway, it's a city. Yeah, it's another.
That's my problem with foreigners.
I mean, it's not a city unless it's got a university or a cathedral, right? Or over a certain population.
I hate English.
Do you have a chapel?
By various measures, Morrow is effectively a small town.
A small
There you go,
town.
small town.
Although I guess every
City.
every Hokuri city sort of has a cathedral because it's got a soul pool in it, right?
Yeah.
So, or every Hokuri settlement of a
Yeah.
size.
How we come up here. So I don't know if you know the Hokuris. We live down deep in the Underdark. We have a sprawling civilization that has different cities, differently placed underground. As for me, I was in the army, and after I lost a battalion, I lost myself in the tunnels and kind of found a way to the surface. And we've been back in there in the past few days. For Nute, it was a bit of a different story, right?
I mean, it's kind of a similar thing as far as wandering up through the tunnels. In my case, falling unconscious and then waking up on the surface. But
Yes.
as far as from getting there to here, your standard adventure story. Died a couple times. Living as a robot for a bit.
What? And like you as you say that, kind of like nonchalantly moving past, like there is like a solid second of like oh, and like there was like a moment of realization where her eyes go slightly wider. She seems to clock what you mean by that.
Oh, she does.
Oh, she knows.
Yeah, but we found ourselves with in the same group in the end. Two Hokuris lost on the surface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it all started with a hate crime.
It did. It did.
A surprising number of things do, to be honest. It's kind of terrible. Well, look, you all look tired. How about these two need some catching up as well? So like Kalona and Hope, who are kind of gossiping in a corner. They got some cutting up some oranges or something and just chatting about family
Not
stuff.
eating them, just cutting them.
Yeah, they're just like segmenting them very cleanly. There's no
Orange is the hope fruit of this month.
Apparently,
I
it is
get
not.
Which month?
We asked, and she was like, "I'll get back to
I think
you."
it's blackberries.
Oh, no, it was
blackberry.
blueberries because Soraya grows blueberries in her garden. I remember.
Yes.
It's a repeated fruit month. Yeah.
It
Cool.
was blueberries again because we have
Yeah.
already had blueberries.
Okay.
But they're in season this time.
They are.
Yeah. Well, okay. If how about we just have some nice food, relax, I guess. And then in the morning, if you have any questions about arcane stuff, we can delve into that. But I feel like you guys have been walking all day and don't want to have a long, deep conversation about the mystics of the arcane. So,
We have all the time for that tomorrow, for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you again for your hospitality here. This is a beautiful mansions. I mean, Naratos has been pretty much very beautiful from what I've seen on the surface, at least. I'm not saying Adagan is not nice, Markos.
No, I mean, of course, the architecture of Adagan is second to none, in my opinion. But the way you have combined nature and structure, it's truly something on Naratos.
Yeah, that is impressive.
I take great pride in it, and thank you. This particular house was sung by my grandparents, I think. Yeah, been here for a while. They were some of the first elves to land here on Naratos. I'm not gonna bore you with my long stories. I'm glad you're enjoying it so far.
Grandparents, that must
I
have...
may be interested to know, actually. I don't know much history except for Adagan and Vorm, so it might be cool to hear that.
Well, conversations for morning. I'm
Tomorrow.
old and I'm tired, so still, show them to the guest chambers and yeah. All right. And she like gets up and waves a hand and a smoking mug of tea just refills itself from the bottom and
She's
just
such
begins
an
to
icon.
She's
Oh
like-
my.
They kind of toddles off.
Jordan is in heaven right now.
I want to learn this right now.
Not new, Jordan.
Yeah.
We get a jug of alchemy.
Wow. Does she make the sound too when she makes it? Woo!
That's the verbal component.
Make a perception check.
I have plus 11, Andrew. At 16, 27. What do you want?
27, you notice, as she waves the hand, there is a very slight hum.
Well, she's singing it,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
she?
she is.
Is she a tea singer?
No, and then the servant that like hides behind a counter that's just pouring it, but you don't.
It's just your illusion.
Yeah, the song is just a way to call him.
no less valid.
Yeah.
But as Tiestra, the kind of elder of this family, heads off toward bed, is there anything else that any of you guys would like to do this evening before making your way into the large kind of similar to how it was in Felicial's place? It's like an open plan, like lounge area where you can make your bedding and stuff. Sure.
How is the exterior of the mansion?
So it's kind of nestled into like a slight clearing in this forest where the trees are all solid jade and kind of slightly flexing in the wind, and it's all fantasy bullshit.
Fantasy
in this
bullshit.
kind of clearing, and like what would be a really dense, like hollow of trees have been like woven and moved and kind of blended together to form kind of like a squat hut, almost like a quite fat, almost seeming wide, relatively low for how wide it is. Building. There were a few kind of smaller buildings, like outhouses almost around it, also woven from these trees. So like at a glance from a distance, you could almost just miss it completely.
Okay. But is there like a patch of like grass that is still the clearing but not the mansion?
Yeah, it kind of like it's almost like a crescent moon shape of like the main building and then like a couple outhouses. So there is like a front entrance, but like rather than being like paved with stuff, it's just kind of slightly mossy ground.
Is there? So did she leave the teapot around?
Yeah. There is still like a floating tray of like a teapot and some stuff.
I'll take the tray, I guess. I'll take the tray and turn around to the group. You guys want to have some tea under the moonshine? I feel like that could be nice.
Always.
Very quick. Was today when we met Mithansal?
Yes.
I think so.
Markos would very much like to go outside for a minute then.
Cool.
Oh, ooh.
And I'm specifically looking for Maple's answer to that. And I'm like, hey, sister, you want to go outside and have some? Okay, let's go. He's so fucking cringy. I love him.
Hey, sister.
Hey,
Wanna come outside for some tea?
yeah.
Play the game Adagan, our D&D game where everything is the same except Ashura is James Charles.
No.
Especially considering recent events, that's very bad.
Oh no, I forgot about that. I'm sorry.
You know how every
As a non-makeup YouTube watching person, this means nothing to me.
I don't watch makeup YouTube. I just spend too much time on Twitter.
Yeah.
know who he is. No, but like you know how every PC is a part of yourself. I just hope that James Charles is not a part of that. Just, nah, I'm fine. Okay. Yeah.
The live action movie that we end up doing, Ashura,
Ashura,
played
played by James Charles. James Charles directed Purple Paint.
Gonna go on an additional thing and say Ashura is not a white man.
That's
also,
true. Like, yeah.
Moving on, you guys find a beautiful moonlit clearing of soft ground, which is that kind of slightly strange flooring of like, there is softness and slight undergrowth, there is earth and there is moss, and there are like kind of blooms of ferns around the place. And if you kind of push like an inch to 3 inches into the dirt, you find smooth jade, like roots of solid jade, which kind of span out from these large old trees and then outwards into the ground. But you find a relatively comfortable patch to sit with your tea.
I'm gonna pull out the little box and just like start putting the brass things on my thighs, calves. Sorry, not thighs, calves.
What do you got there? What are you doing? Is that something?
Well, it is I don't remember if you guys were there when we were
We actually-
speaking.
No, you talked to the shopkeeper and we kind of left because
Do you mean the other person from the
The
infantry?
ranger, yes.
The ranger, yes,
yeah,
I remember.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, he gave me these, and
Was it a drink of water?
I got
hydrate
a
from
brief.
Oh.
I got a brief explanation as to what they do, but I don't really know, and so I thought I'd try them out.
Wow.
are they magical in nature? Do you want me to figure out what they do? I could. Or do you like the surprise? You know,
I
you
like
can...
the surprise.
Sure.
Like I said, I got a brief explanation of.
Okay.
Just careful they don't make
Very-
you blind.
That's fair on everything you touch.
Ever since the beginning of this game.
Look, if Mithansal has been using them, knowing what their skill set must be like, I doubt these make people go blind. Anyway, Nute, are you even here?
Yeah, I think
I mean, I heard mention of tea.
We
so
all
you're
go out?
probably there.
Okay,
We're
we
all here, we're all
I
here.
think we all went out. We all went out.
We all went out. Gotcha.
Full Soulguard, tea in the moonlight.
That's
And
perfect.
maybe
My
Marigold.
bad, I misunderstood that.
I'm not like leaving. We're not leaving Marigold inside. Like no.
she's
Soulguard
also
only.
here. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Marigold's that Squidward meme looking out the window at all of us down enjoying tea.
2 days ago, I thought I was with them, and now my wife took my place.
My wife got resurrected, and all of a sudden they've abandoned me.
Jeez, you resurrect one person and all of a sudden they don't want to hang out with you.
So rude.
They get cursed.
Well, I mean, I hope those braces don't get you cursed, but have fun trying them. Anyway, I wanted to get everyone outside just to actually give a toast to Maple and saying that I am so glad that you're back from this week where you haven't been here, but we still lost you, and I am so glad you're there. So, chin chin on those tea. I have no alcohol on me, but you know, if we could make it a toast, it would be a toast.
It's fine. A toast.
To Maple.
To Maple.
And
Because we were missing someone to throw axes at people when we were in the Underdark.
Marigold kind of puts a head on your shoulder, Maple.
Oh,
No.
wife.
to Maple and friends returned.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. And Ashura just lies down in the grass, trying to make like grass angels.
So, this ranger, Markos, what did you talk about? Why was he here?
Well, he's from here, I guess.
Oh.
Well, no, not really. He lives here now. Yeah, Mithansal, he was called.
Mithansal.
Apparently born in Adagan, joined the Adagani military, fought in the Giant War.
Mm,
oh, damn.
That was cool.
damn.
To hear. Yeah, we traded stories, and he's beholden to this place now, but wished that he could defend Adagan. You know, this place he holds so dear, and wished me well, and to cut a long story short, and gave me these, and display the little brass clasps.
So what are these?
Well, Andrew, do these require attunement? Would I know that?
I believe they do.
Oh, we have plenty of time tonight, at least, if they do. We'd all just watch as Markos stares at
they
these
do, yeah.
braces for an hour.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll put them on, and I'll just be like, well, I guess I'll wait for them to kick in.
Can I?
It's fine.
what's the name of the item?
Maple will also use this time to attune to her various items.
I mean, I guess like during on the road, you did it.
On the road, I
I
could
mean-
have attuned to them, I suppose.
Yeah. Like I'm guessing. Well, I mean, it depends because if you put them on now, maybe not, but for Maple, you were carrying the axe, right?
Yeah, you're
It
good with
was.
stuff before.
Andrew,
I've also,
can you put Miss Ansel's name in the chat, please, for spelling?
Yes, I
Oh yeah,
shall.
either Andrew or David, just so I can put it in my notes.
Put it in my notes.
Damn it.
Thank you.
Put it in my notes.
I put a Y in it. I was being too pretentious.
Ah, yes.
Classic pretentious elf names. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to avoid just like meaningless Y's and apostrophes for no reason.
What? No, that's how you make
Why
up. That's how you make up elf names. Come on.
Yeah, you can attune to these now, should you wish.
Excellent. I shall do as such.
Hell yeah.
Alright.
It's so exciting.
They fit snugly kind of on the outside of your leather armor, on your around like your shins. Kind of this kind of very. It's slightly odd the way like the rest of your body is kind of like darker brown leather armor, with the kind of like various kind of adornments that add to its enchantment against poison. And then like below the knee, you have this kind of like this accenting of kind of winding brass, like greaves almost, which are kind of extra decorative around the edges. But eventually, as you guys drink your tea and kind of idly chit chat amongst the jade trees, and just kind of enjoy the slightly cool evening air that kind of rolls in on a breeze that gives you that kind of contrast as what was quite a hot day of bright sunshine now turns into a slightly chill evening.
Nice. This place is pretty cool, huh, to be fair.
It is very cool.
No, like the construction made out of trees. I mean,
Jade trees.
yeah, like jade.
And did you hear what she said about the house? That the house was sung by her grandparents?
Yeah.
And she said grandparents. So that house is like what, like 5 millennia ago, like old, like
Not-
like
Well, it's like 3 forevers ago. You elves are
right.
livid.
Yeah, I know, buddy. I know. So much time on our hands. What do we do? You know, I like that's like mortality in men. This is pretty interesting. You know, we should talk about this tonight.
Sorry,
You know,
what is this mortality thing you're talking about?
you know, like how.
Nute,
Yeah, no, okay, immortal Nute. I'm sorry. Like, look at Maple. Maple is like what? How old are you, Maple? Like 300 years old?
363.
Like look,
Technically now.
right? Like okay.
Although I guess technically also 2 days.
like 2 days, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
your soul is still the same age. I guess it's just your body that's different. You weren't
Oh my
born; you were just brought back.
There is so
Yeah.
many questions now. Do you die
Well,
because
the
you are-
body is completely new, though, right?
I don't know. Did we make a new body? Because we made a new body for Nute.
Well, if
But
you
I think
think,
you made
like,
a new body.
let's if we compare Maple to like a rifle, and you have like the body of the rifle and the barrel and the stock. If you replace the stock, is it still the same rifle?
I don't
Or
know.
is it a
new rifle?
I don't
Do
know
you
what
measure
those
the
words
age?
mean.
I knew-
You measure
Oh,
the
yeah,
age
talking
of the
about-
rifle.
You're talking about the rifle of Theseus.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
yes,
heard
exactly.
about the rifle of
Theseus, the
Theseus.
well-known
Yeah,
Afghani sniper, who
Yeah.
replaced his replaced every part in his rifle at least once. Replaced every single part at least once, but still insisted it was the same rifle.
yeah, yeah. And
How
no one-
quick you were, Jordan, with yes, Theseus, the Adagani sniper. I'm just like how quick it was.
Canon. That quick, just like that.
That's quick, Andrew. We own
That really
your world.
tickled me.
We
That
own
really
your
tickled me.
It's done. Everything we say is canon.
Well, no.
Hookeries don't have to. They don't know what time means.
I mean-
And now
Hookeries don't have clocks.
the sniper. But yeah, and,
Eventually-
and anyway, like Markos, like I mean, I understand time is feels short in comparison to elves, but I guess it's a matter of perspective. Our lives don't feel as long; it just feel as short when you arrive at the end of it.
I suppose that's true.
It's very
It's
philosophical.
about the experiences that you fill
Yeah.
it with, rather than the length.
I feel like it's
Very-
the key.
Look, Markos.
Yeah.
Good work of it. Been
Did you
rubbing
put-
off on us.
Did you put the like something in the tea, Hemlock? I feel like
no,
this.
I only put it in mine.
Ah, yeah, fair. Yeah, no, okay.
Oh,
And I guess we
I
can.
wanted some.
Do you want? I can if you'd like.
Maybe not the best
Maybe-
idea if these
Not
things
before you're just
are
about to
going
go
to
to
work.
sleep. Oh, what?
Also
Has
that.
it been an hour?
It has been long enough that you are attuned to the.
I wanna
to-
see.
yeah.
Right now, jump on.
Okay.
I want to see.
All right. So I'm going to try these out. I what was it? I think there was a command word. Yes, there was. Hang on. I'm just going through my memories right now.
Trust me, I know how that feels.
I'm scrolling through my memories.
Okay.
My
And
memories
I'll
are up to
walk-
Discord.
I'll walk about 15 feet from people and just maybe stand back. Hang on. And I'll put my sword and my rifle like in someone's hands and just be like,
Oh,
just for the first time, I'm a little unsure.
What rifle,
Yeah, I was gonna say, where'd you
bitch?
get this rifle from?
Longbow. And I'll walk out into a little patch of grass, like clearing away from everyone, and say the magic words, which of course are "Nay, tell Drim."
Ooh.
The second you say that, the kind of fine brass filigree that kind of wraps around your calves begins to unwind and then reform into a pair of slightly just drifting lazily wings on either side of your ankles.
Oh.
I'm gonna jump.
You jump and they immediately go and you're slightly off balance for a second, but they seem to like auto-correct. So, if you begin to fall one way, the wings kind of push you back the other way and keep you stable and level.
Yeah, it's like Iron Man freaking out before he realizes to just like straighten his back and point his hands down, you know.
Pirouette.
wow.
Damn.
Those are very tiny wings to just support your entire weight, I feel
It
like.
is completely unrealistic, I know.
Yeah,
But I guess that's magic, you know?
it is. I mean, this is great. You can kind of like shoot down on your enemies now.
I think it'll take a little bit of getting used to, but yeah.
I mean,
Work on your
hey.
balance.
Yeah,
and I'll
kind of
land
like tilting to the left.
and like, huh. Ooh.
Ooh. Nice. Wow. I mean, you can even kind of like hide in the sky now?
There is not much to hide behind.
But yeah, but
Also,
we
how would
don't...
I camouflage myself? Like cover myself in clouds?
No,
How about
but
if you
like,
just paint
Clouds are
yourself
just-
blue?
but you don't always look at the sky when you fight, right?
Yeah, people
Depends
could
what
be,
you're
you know,
fighting.
they're looking for an ambush, you know, in the grass and in the trees. But then
Hemlock is right.
Sky Markos.
Sky Markos.
Sky.
Also, I wouldn't hide in clouds because clouds are just rain. I don't think you'd hide; you just get damp.
Oh.
And your gunpowder would get them. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
that's
your
a-
gunpowder would get damp.
Well, those are pretty cool. How much did you pay? Did you pay for it, or did you just give it to you?
I feel like I should have done, but no.
Ah.
Did Mythantel just give them to you?
Seemed like it.
Wow.
I mean, pretty amazing. Damn. Okay. Well, there is no more tea, and that's the only thing that kept me awake at this point. I bid you good night, friends. I will go back to my chambers. I don't know where. Do we have each a room?
No.
I
So,
think we have like
so
one big room for all of us, right?
All right.
Yeah,
I'm
so-
shotgunning the bed.
It's not a bed.
It
It's
was
like a.
bed.
No.
It's like a communal
Yeah.
room.
Yeah, I remember.
Flomas.
very cozy, but
Yeah, I remember now. Okay, I guess I'm shotgunning my own. Fuck.
Your little corner?
Yeah.
you
my own-
equally claim some space like everyone else.
Exactly. Yay.
Perfect.
Shit.
I'm sorry, buddy.
No, it's cool. I'm joking. It was for the joke.
Okay. Well, you all find your ways to this kind of open space, and it has that same feeling almost of when you're in like the large tent back in the day, of like kind of curling up near each other. And while privacy is nice, there's also there is that kind of pleasant quality of being close to other people that you trust as you drift off.
Soulguard cuddle pile. Soulguard cuddle pile.
Yep.
Yes.
And a peaceful night finds you all.
Hey.
You can all take off your long rests. But yeah,
I don't know if any of us used abilities.
I don't know that you did or
I'm still on low hit points from something.
yeah. You've rested since then, but
You have rested since then.
Yeah. From the Zaratan fight. What?
Yeah, it was a Zaratan fight, yeah.
But eventually, as you were all come to in your own time, but
I have a little question
Go ahead.
about that. If possible, I would like to wake up a little bit earlier than everyone else, and tap Ashura awake. It's me.
Stop.
It's me. Get up.
I know it's you. I just don't want to be waked up. Awake.
I just wondered if now might be a good time that I can, and I'll then go into telepathic and go have a chat with you know who.
I mean, and I don't answer in telepathic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't worry. It doesn't have to be that secretive.
Okay, I don't know what goes
No.
on.
Nothing. It's she's a bitch. That's
Okay.
it. All that goes on. It's
I'll
literally
take your word for it.
Yep. All right. He puts his jacket shirt on, like a loose shirt, takes the sword and say, we'll go back to like the grass thing, but first I need coffee, tea, whatever they have.
Yes, of course. That's fine.
Here. And yeah, I'm gonna go grab some coffee, tea, whatever they have in the kitchen.
alrighty. As you guys head out of your own little space and head back into the communal area, you find who's up. You find Kaithwheel, the Hope Mother's teacher, the darker-skinned elf that was teaching the Jade singing to Hope Mother, is up and they kind of sat at one of the tables just eating some fruit. You also just catch leaving a spear kind of across their back. Scylan is just kind of tying up his long curly black hair, kind of like waving goodbye kind of quietly to Kaithwheel, and then kind of as you guys head, and kind of gives you all a wave as well, and heads on out the door.
Okay. Just saying
Early
hello.
rises.
Yeah, early rises. I mean, training, I don't know what they do. I mean, at that age, you kind of like know so much, you kind of have to train every morning. I don't know.
Sure, I am that age.
Yeah. I pat her on the head.
I'm taller than you.
Yeah, I know. I pat you on the head. Yeah.
On the mushroom.
On the mushroom.
A
It just
cloud of spores comes down.
oh god. Is that toxic? Oh god.
It's fine. It's
You
That's
don't know.
Danbro.
don't say that.
Can
You've been around me for long enough to make a
That's one
conversation.
can't save. I don't know what happened. I'm in love.
Hemlock's germinating, guys. Watch out.
I could.
It's like
I'm like a cat. In the summer, I shed.
oh god.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
So we're outside in the clearing. Cool. I'll just take out the blade from its from the sheath, scabbard. Same word.
Mhm.
Kind of like sit down, cross-legged, and hey, someone wants to talk to you. Also, how you doing? Is that something I should ask you? I don't know if anything changes in your condition.
You can see ever so slightly of your kind of red steeled sword in that kind of where the crossguard should be, where it kind of swells into that slightly opaque yellowish crystal. There is a slight like movement as the spirit within begins to rouse slightly, and the voice kind of shifts for a second before entering your minds. We don't have to talk. You can just do the thing. I'll go home happy.
Yeah.
I'm doing fine, given that. What do you need?
No, nothing. I just, I need something, but I feel like now that we kind of like are partners, I feel like maybe we should have some like friendly co-working situation where we know we're very, still professional, but kind of like nice to each other. I don't know.
Sure.
I'll put
That's fine. I'll let you know what. I'll let you lead the paradigm on exactly how our friendship grows.
Okay, that's cool. All right, that's a lot of responsibility. So I there is a friend here, Hemlock, who had some question for you. So that's all I wanted to ask you. Hemlock, do you want me to stay or do you want me to leave?
Just nod. Stay. Stay, I think. Just in case.
Okay, cool. I'll just be in the conversation radius. I'll be there.
You see Hemlock as the you heard all of that conversation in your head as well, and you see kind of shifting in that open, like slightly, like it's similar to how like there's like those salt lamps, where you can see like a hewn rock on the outside. There's a slight glow inside that crossguard stone, and you see almost the shadow of an eye turn towards you within it.
Mm-hmm.
So, what can I do you for?
Well, I've been researching some things for a while, struggling to find the answers that I've been looking for. So, I thought, well, whatever it is you might be, you're going to be the closest that I'm going to get to directly asking the source of what I need to search for. Do you know the name Zugatmoy?
I'm loosely familiar.
What do you know of her?
It is a similar foe. Our current trajectory sends us towards the gaping maw of undeath, Orcus's domain. But I can smell on you there are other forces at play. It's just a big old lump of mush. But it's the abyss, and so lumps of mush can be very dangerous. This particular lump of mush is just a big old mushroom bitch that likes to grow on everything and never stop. It's not very complicated. It's not that deep.
Miss Mushroom Bitch, as you call her. Has she ever extended a hand out into our plane, our world before? That you know of?
I know of. Not in particular. Many of those archdemons from the abyss have at various points attempted to influence. It's all they fucking do. It's why we are in an eternal war with them, is because they are constantly trying to expand. You know when you're near a big city and it just keeps getting bigger, and those small, nice little villages just kind of get absorbed into the town? It's that. But the little towns are your entire world. And we're like the council saying, no, don't do that. So yeah, probably at some point she has. It has. People put names on things. That entity, yeah, has probably at some point had a meddling hand in this world.
Just kind of like putting the hand gently on the kind of mushrooms that are like growing out of myself. Right. That's something. Honestly, didn't think you'd be this open with it. I don't really know what I was thinking about asking.
Enemy of my enemy is my friend, you know?
That's the basic of our partnership right now. So say yes, yeah. It's that.
Of course. Well, thank you for your insight. That's all I wish to ask.
Well, glad I could be helpful. And you have a wonderful day.
I'll hand the sword back to Ashura.
Thank you, Kisara. Great. Have a great day. Bye. I sheathe her. I just like, okay.
Alrighty.
Well, hey.
Yeah.
Kind of got the answer you wanted, I guess.
I
More information.
I didn't quite know what I was expecting. I've heard the name a couple of times and just I wanted to find out more, and I figured if anyone close to us is going to know more about demonology, it's going to be a devil. So
I mean, fair. But again, I mean, it's a beginning.
yeah. Let's wake the others. I'd like to talk to them about this as well. Feels wrong to keep it, and there's something else I want to say as well.
Okay, sure, no worries. I'm bringing out the major image.
What?
Because sorry, I feel like I'm such a dick.
What are you about to do?
As everyone is just sleeping, there's gonna be like different Ashuras like going into the room, like silently as
various illusions of yourself need to pop up
Exactly.
into existence
and they all
spread out.
they all pop out with like trombones and like wind instruments, and the goes 1, 2, 1, and just like giants, like tons of sound and like just like
Bunch of-
super loud.
Just the most invasive racket detonates in your ears,
Oh
and
no!
those of you that weren't awake certainly are now. As you all can like groan and shout and swat at the various illusions that are trumpeting in your faces, you also hear another voice from another room go, "What the fuck is that?"
Ashura!
They all disappear. I don't know. It's weird. Magic, elves. What?
Ashura
Like
be
gentle
classed
punch
as-
in the shoulder.
Would
Well, it's
Ashura
funny.
count as surprised if I were to throw some stuff at him?
Throw me. What are you gonna throw me?
I'm trying to fucking assassinate
Are you
him.
gonna use your like assassinate feature on Ashura?
I rolled a lot, so I probably hit like 28. So a gold
What are
coin
you-
strikes you in the side of the head.
I'm not going to lie, you deserve that. You deserve that.
Who are you to judge me? Are you gods? Only gods can judge me. And even
I
then,
thought you didn't
Weird
believe
thing
in
for
the
the
gods.
Hungarian.
don't believe in them. Yeah, yeah. So then, no one
That's to
can.
be fair, no
Ashura,
one can judge me.
I might not be
Yeah.
able to judge you, but I can still punch you.
Yeah, I'm walking away while you're still waking up.
I can
But-
punch far.
You
Yeah,
can
that's
punch very far.
fine.
This is true.
All right. Breakfast, everyone. I'm trying to change subject. Just go with it.
Yes, there's something I'd like to speak to you all about as well. So,
Now or?
over breakfast now. In fact, I'll say this now before we get in front of these lovely hosts that don't deserve to be dragged into our shenanigans. I need you to talk me out of doing something very stupid.
Do I need the bands of binding again?
No, not like
No.
that. But and I'm gonna reach. I'll reach into my go in through my bag, and I'll pull out. Oh,
On a scale of me to you, how stupid is it?
it's me, but in a different kind of way.
Oh boy.
So, and I'll reach into my bag and I pull out one little bottle. It's of clear liquid that's very slightly viscous. Markos, you've seen this before.
I know I have.
What kind of morning? Really?
So, I had a chat. When I was down in the library, back there yesterday. I was doing some research into demonology and fungal things. Found out a little bit about a woman named Zugatmoy. And I talked to Kithala earlier this morning. She is apparently a demon from the abyss. And may or may not have something to do with just gesture to my whole self. I have made this a while ago, a little after we got back from the Gordark the first time, And if I've made it right, it will give me the chance to speak to an entity from another plane.
Mhm.
Ask them questions. Now, I don't think I can control which entity that is, but this being mostly made out of things from the Gordark, maybe a little bit of Mind Flayer, I think I have a pretty good chance that I could potentially speak to the thing that has been doing all of this to me. However, there are two big howevers here. One, might not be her that I'm speaking to. I won't know that until I do it. And two, there are some... I couldn't quite eliminate some potentially very bad side effects to drinking this thing.
Which are?
Put it lightly, I wouldn't be able to, these aren't definite side effects, they're already potential side effects, but I wouldn't be able to, like, speak or do anything, really, for at least a day, maybe longer, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Is it like, is there a cure for the side effect?
I mean, a cleric could get rid of it quite easily, and like I said, it's not a definite side effect, it's just something that if this goes wrong and we can't get a cleric to fix it, or maybe Marigold could probably fix it as well, but maybe for a day, I might go, in the simplest terms, mad for a bit.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not a definite side effect.
You want to start, Nute? I have also points.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I guess the most important thing is it worth the risk of going insane to possibly ask these questions?
Well, either way...
Do you even know if you get honest answers?
I don't know, DM. Would I know that?
I don't know.
Fuck off. You do know.
You know when you ask him the question.
I'm pretty good at... I'm pretty hard to be lied to. But, like I said, these aren't definite side effects. And if it's not her, it's still someone out there with a lot of knowledge that could potentially help us. But now I've got the name, and now I know things about her. I feel like I'm just close to getting there.
So
have you exhausted all other options?
Well, other options include a particular coin in the currently in the bag of holding. I feel like we have less control over that. I've read books from Naratos. There are probably some in the Arcanium, but I don't know how much detail they'll go into. Finding things on the Abyss is difficult. And I spoke to Kithala. She's the closest thing to a demon that we can easily talk to, and she knew a little bit, but... I know it's a bad idea. But it's...
The main bad idea is if someone else gets on the call. Because if you're trying... What?
No, it's okay.
I mean, if think about it, if I don't know, like a undead lord, just like Orcus gets there. Like, what do we do?
I mean, it'll just be questions. They won't be able to find anything about me unless I tell them. But
there is no way to, like, I don't know, like magically trace back where you are and who you are.
I don't think so. It's just I can reach to them, ask them some questions, and they will answer me. Only in short terms. They don't have much that they can say. Like I said, they won't get anything that I don't give them, I think.
Okay. Well...
Or you know.
I have a question. You wish to... What was the demon's name again?
Zagatmoy.
Zagatmoy? You wish to contact her because of the potential connection with you.
Ever since seeing the woman in the Gordark and then having that, I don't know if it was a dream or a memory of her in my childhood bedroom, And then now that all of this has
Well,
happened,
Don't forget that these spores in the Gordak also made you not in control of your...
I know.
You attacked us.
That's kind of why I want to do it, because if this is...
But
If
what
it's-
if it is more of the same?
If it...
And who says it's even true? She might be lying. She might see
She might... If it is...
something in you that she wants.
I know. I kind of want to do it so that if it's not her that's been doing this, then I can leave it behind and stop thinking about it. Because this is the one way that I can do it without just going back in there and potentially losing control again. This is something that I've made. This is something that if it goes right, which I think I can make it go right, can control. And if it goes wrong, we can quickly fix it. I would know the spell to fix it. I'm sure Marigold would know it as well.
Would you be able to fix yourself, though?
I couldn't fix myself, but
That's-
if I know the spell, Marigold could do it.
Yeah,
It's greater restoration.
If it's
Yeah.
great restoration, Marigold can do it. It's
So-
fine.
So the secondary effects are not that important because if we have Marigold already, we just remove them.
Yeah.
Maple, what do
Greatly
you...
restored very quickly.
Yeah, greatly restored,
Look,
exactly. I mean,
I'm not sure about how you guys are sort of thinking about this, but the secondary effects aren't really my concern.
no, me neither.
You're contacting a being from another plane who you don't necessarily know who it will be, to ask them questions that you don't know whether they will answer truthfully, in a manner in which you don't know how they will be able to use that against you. With the possibility of going insane.
I said it was a bad idea.
It did.
Isn't there like a friendlier mushroom, like extra planar you can speak to?
I don't know. Maybe I'll find them. Like we don't know if I'll find an evil person.
That's true. I mean, it's yeah. Maple, in all of this, what do you think? Everyone's opinion is important.
I mean, I can understand where you're coming from, Hemlock. I understand why you want to know the origin of the magic you've had your entire life. But I also didn't mega enjoy having to tackle you to the ground and carry you off in the middle of the Gordak. I'd
Yeah.
prefer to not have to do that again.
Yeah.
And also, regardless of who she is and what involvement she has in your destiny, if you will, she's also a demon, so doesn't really matter what her intentions are. They're probably going to be bad either way.
Yeah. I know, but it's just being ever since I woke up with this, I've been thinking about the Gordak and the Hook Horror and the orcs and all of the creatures that we saw, and I don't know, having that uncertainty of whether or not I'll wake up another morning and I won't have my mind anymore. Having that uncertainty has been not fun for this past week. And I don't know whether knowing whether she is or she isn't behind it would make it worse. But I have a little bottle of things that could make me know. And it's just been sitting here in my bag for the past few months.
I mean,
And I didn't want to do it without telling you guys, because that would have been awful, but that's why I asked you. But
I think the best thing we can do, because unless I see you specifically in danger or putting anyone else in danger, I'm not going to stop you. But I think we probably wait until we're back in Adigan and we have our shit together. And then we can make sure it's all in a safe and good environment. We have like Marigold ready with whatever spell it is. We have a cleric on standby just in case.
Yeah,
You know? Like
I like
if you're gonna do it, we can at least make sure it's gonna be
Exactly.
as safe as possible.
If
Yeah.
you're going to send your mind on a journey to another dimension, you need to be in a comfortable room.
Yeah, that's true. I'm in a place I don't know, and there's apparently family here I didn't know I had. I feel like doing this right now is not the most
I mean,
responsible.
Yeah.
your entire family will talk about it for
It'd be a
generations.
wild first impression.
Oh
if you
yeah,
went
that
out.
would.
I mean,
yeah,
right,
well, that's a bad
that's
thing.
family-
I don't want that to be the embarrassing story that gets brought up at family meals if we ever end up having them. That's not a good thing.
Hey, it's that girl who talked to a demon lord. Hey, that's like for the rest of your life. Like,
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. This is why I wanted to ask you. I knew it. Sorry, it's just been on my mind, and I wanted to get it off my mind with you guys because I trust you all, and I know you know what's best. So, thank you.
Okay. Nute will go
Yeah,
and bring you into a big hug.
Yeah, I'll give you a hug back and give you a little kiss on the cheek.
I wouldn't say know what's best, but we care about you a lot, so.
Thank
at
you.
least we'll do what we think is better. It's
Yeah.
the best. But yeah, on that note, we wait for whenever we get back home and
Mhm.
get you the best seat in the house. I don't know.
On that note, going home, I've been thinking might be a good idea to talk to Jed or anyone about,
Yes.
we've at least delayed this plan for a while. If we're planning on heading back today, tomorrow, in a few days, whatever happens, I think we need to debrief him or whoever else is available. I'm assuming he's very busy right now, but
Yeah.
this feels like an important thing to pass on.
Well,
For sure.
I think first things first, we should all get up, have some breakfast, maybe hydrate
Yes.
and check your postures to make sure that you're all stretched out
yeah.
and good.
Well, I woke up with such a stiff neck now because of that fucking trombone.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is
You
how I
shouldn't-
express
look,
my love to you guys.
you're a fucking soldier. You should know that we don't really sleep. Always on alert, and it is not fair to do that.
What do you have? Do you have a coin like
Sure,
next
if
to
you do
your?
it again, I will punch you.
I mean, I'll fly away. I can't. I'll disappear.
You don't sleep with money in your shoes or your socks just in case you need it? Like, what if...
No, I'm not. No, I
What if you get woken up by a passing traveller with wares to sell?
I don't.
Well,
I
what
don't-
if you get, like, all of your
Well,
shit stolen and you need money to, like, buy food?
Oh,
That makes a lot
my-
of sense.
my family had money. I mean, it's not like worst case scenario. I lose the money and I just go back to my mom and just ask her for money.
I think
She kind of reminds me how much
Fucking
of a
rich people.
yeah.
I just wanted to say when we were mentioning Jed, Marigold would probably also express the fact that she wanted to talk to Jed about something as well. So.
That's a good idea.
Or whoever we talk to, doesn't have to be Jed.
I mean, isn't Jeddah like?
He's our
He's our
bestie.
handler.
But to be fair, now we can talk to the princess just like straight. Like Hope is there. We can just bam
It's like, yo!
to the top, as we say, to the top, or the dying king. Whichever we want.
Or the prince who doesn't like us.
Yeah.
Hope's girlfriend.
Yeah. Maybe Jed is just the right.
Maybe Jed's
Jed
the
is-
best
We'll talk to
person,
Jed.
yeah.
I feel like that works. That's
Or we
fine.
could talk to Marla, cough cough, Captain Pinnell.
Yes, Captain Pinnell might be a good person to check in with, yes.
Yeah.
If she's around. I'm assuming
If
she's
she's
probably out defending the country or whatever.
Doing
That's
the
another
war.
thing. We've not.
Sounds like
we,
her.
we might be able to get a bit of an update on the war that we've not really been involved in for a while.
No.
I mean,
No.
we've had a week in the Underdark, and then in the elemental plane of Earth, and then on Naratos.
I mean, I don't I like particularly the only war I've been a part of was very slow moving.
Yeah.
Things did not change for millennia. So I don't know if this war currently is going to move fast, maybe, or is going to be very
I
slow.
mean, it's half of it is humans, so
Yeah, maybe they're very scared of like dying of old age while the war is going on, so they just run at the enemy very fast. I jest, Markos. This is a jest.
He's just shaking his head and smiling at you.
It's based on
It's
last
like-
night's conversation. I'm not trying to. Anyway, all right. I'll go fetch myself some wine. Or
It's 9 a.m.
No, something to drink. Alex
Sure.
needs a reason to leave for a second. He's just gonna grab.
As you all eventually make your way out of this resting chamber and head towards getting some food at one of the main dining table in kind of the main open area of this house, Tiestra and Kaithwil, the main occupants, come down. Tiestra, the elderly elf, looks very grumpy. To be honest, like they've got the hair is in a half bun, but it's slightly askew. They kind of come down from the upstairs. So, I don't know how you all do your morning rituals, but if they could involve less brass.
It's not normally that. It's not normally that. I
Immediately
can
staring
only,
at Ashura.
can only apologize and just
Yes.
all eyes to Ashura.
Yes.
It's
It won't happen again, right?
my apologies. It's a very Hokuri tradition that whenever we're in your house, we wake up in music. But I'm sorry, I should have warned you last night.
Well, unfortunately, as I slept in the night, all of my knowledge of the arcane just vanished. It evaporated. Oh well, let's just have some tea and make your way, shall we?
Icon, I love her.
All right, come on. And she kind of heads back over to the table and like gestures toward like a large cupboard, and just fruit and bread just starts kind of floating out of it, and like cutting up the bread and cheeses and stuff, and arranging a spread by itself. She takes a seat and kind of
Breakfast.
just awaits her tea, which kind of floats along to her.
Just one quick thing. Nute is very quickly just gonna like whisper to Ashura and be like, "Could you please stop using the whole Hokuri thing as an excuse? Because now I'm here too."
Yeah, but it works every time.
Yeah, but then I need to play along, and I don't
Yeah.
play any brass instruments.
Yeah, but we can just say you like play the flute or something, or like triangles. Ding. Like it's easy.
So, what questions about the arcane mysteries of the world did you have?
Tons. To be fair, it's for me. It's about enchanting. I don't know if you know any you know much about enchanting. It's just I have a question about you ask Markos for the bone sword, if possible.
Oh.
Yep. Thanks. So this sword, do not be scared. It is very scary looking, but it's
Also
just
filthy. You know, it's a little gesture in the air, and all of the dried blood and little chunks of your stomach lining that are still like
that was
Ew.
my
from various spikes, like dust away.
God, that's something we didn't do before we put it in the bag. So we have this sword, but it's very evil, right? Like it's very
You sure, it looks kind of benevolent.
You know what? I thought the same at the beginning until it impaled me. But basically, we can only magically attune to it if we are of the same mindset and as the former user. Right now, I do not.
Let's go with the teacup, and it like floats off to one side. She kind of does another little hand motion and sits for a second until a small, like a ring with an obnoxiously large pearl on it, just through the air from upstairs.
You don't really need to move much in this house, do you? It's just
No,
everything.
you don't. Everything's just so. You really have to be motivated to get up and do exercise. Cause
Yeah,
otherwise,
I see that. Maybe I need to do the same thing at home. I mean, like I kind of move all the time. Maybe I can just.
She begins to cast Identify on the sword. And after about a minute passes. Well, this is unpleasant. And
it's
very powerful.
Yes, well, the powerful part I'd like to keep. But the very negative, evil part of it, where you kind of want to like bring the end of the world if you want to use it. I'd like to remove that, if possible. And I do not know how to do it. I mean, my capabilities in enchanting are amateur.
Well, my experience in enchanting things is adjacent to the singing that produces the things that we see around here. How we move the trees and stone and everything to be how we want them to be, and it's about. It's everything, you know? It's the material itself. It's the words in the song, the melody. And it's the same for enchanting. It's the same in the way that it matters what the item is, what material is, and how it was done, and why, and by who. And it all comes together into the finished and kind of damaged product.
Yes, it's also damaged. I need to repair that.
This looks like it was forged on a foundation of evil. This entire thing is a servant of death. And the ties it makes to the soul to be wielded is the foundation, is the core of this thing. I don't know if it's possible, which...
But maybe we can be like a good servant of death, you know, like benevolent servant of death. Is that the thing? No.
I don't know who made this.
Yep. No, me neither.
But I said who made it matters, and I'm getting a really not good vibe off this. This is the kind of thing that needs either destroying or being hidden from those that could use it. Because
that'd be a whole lot of shame.
Things this powerful, generally more than one person knows about it. And whoever you took this from probably had enemies who would love to wield this. And if they can, you don't want them doing so.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry for the longsword I wanted to make for you, Markos. It's
Hey man, I got these cool wing things.
I know. But okay, well, it's a shame. I mean, it kind of like went into me like butter the first time, so I thought it was a pretty cool sword. But if not, okay, well, we'll find a way to destroy it or take it apart.
Well, as long as Iseko doesn't get it again, right? That's the main thing.
I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure he's coming back, so...
Well, let's make sure he comes back without his sword.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Did you... When you looked at this, did you figure out a way if it could be destroyed?
It looks like half the job's been done already.
Just like smack it really hard?
I mean, at this point, probably, yeah. I mean, and like she points to like all like the
porous
areas where like the pores have opened up in it, and it's kind of almost honeycomb-esque, as when Hemlock first took it from the Death Knight and began to decay it with magic. It seems to have like that damage has been done.
I could do it a bit, you know.
Maybe don't just grab it, just kind of like hold it.
No, that was and then just kind of like took like the scars.
Table.
No, of course not outside. I will. Yeah.
You say of course, but this one it kind of points towards Ashura.
That's fair. He's not house trained. I apologize.
Like, oh, he's a cutie though, isn't he? And she like leans, they lean over and like pinch Ashura's cheek.
Ashura's a little fucking like house pet.
I do not know exactly how to take this. Maybe it's like some family banter, but
Sure.
I'll yeah.
Whatever you need to believe.
Yeah, apparently, did you know actually the tradition I talked to you about? It's every morning. Yeah. I'm just
be on so quick.
Yeah.
Is there anything else I can help you with? And she like leans in and like the sarcastic kind of old lady vibe subsides slightly.
Well, no, I just wanted your honest opinion about the sword. But thank you for that. We'll find a way to deal with it. Shoot.
Is there anything else that any of you all need?
Do you happen to know where Scyllin got to?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. And she like points out of the house and like mutters something under her breath. And you just like hear out loud like a coming, like echoing from quite far off. He likes to go out and practice and stuff before breakfast.
Understandable.
Dork. And like, a few seconds later, like the door bursts open and this like muscular young elven man with flowing curly hair and a spear in one hand like kind of comes in like kind of glistening with sweat.
That was a very homoerotic description there, Andrew.
Yeah, you are. I'm in a chat full of homos. What do you want? Like, hi. What is it? Yes, it's breakfast. Come on, man. Sorry. And he kind of like puts his spear down and kind of comes over and like grabs a little towel and kind of wipes himself down a little bit. Sorry, guys. Yeah, is there anything... What's going on? I heard you guys are probably leaving kind of soon.
We've got some handlers and higher-ups to report back to, I suppose. I'd like to have a chat before I go.
Sure. Well, I need to... I'm not going to eat just yet. Do you want to go for like a quick walk?
Yeah, I can come for a walk, and I'll kind of pick up like I don't know something from breakfast that I can carry with me.
Yeah.
A croissant.
A croissant.
The table.
Bread.
Take the table. I'll get like some like berries or something for Lily, and I'll like yeah.
Strength 6. She's not carrying the table.
I'm not carrying the table. I'm barely carrying a platter. Like it's. But yeah, I'll pick up like some pastries or something that I can take with me, and some little fruits for Lily that I can like pass her on.
You guys head outside, and it is that kind of bright morning. It's almost completely blue sky, and it's that weird like now seeing it in the daylight. This forest is strange. It like the light comes down from the sun and glitters and shines as it reflects off of the jade branches and leaves of these trees. There is the slight almost tinkling as these tiny like incredibly thin leaves of jade that have fallen from the trees like rustle and stuff like broken glass almost.
I will say I know I've had the focus for a while, so if I don't mind waiting for you guys to do what you would like to do.
Yeah, you want to go?
I was gonna say, Nute's basically just gonna ask about the magical tattoos.
Sure.
He's gonna open
as
with...
Hemlock leaves.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say he's gonna open with, first of all, sorry about Ashura.
It's all right.
Just don't listen to him on her curious stuff.
I'm always right.
I know a little of your culture. I've done, I've read a fair amount in my time. But genuinely, it is fascinating and an honor to have you in my home. What can I help you with, Nute?
Totally. So, a few weeks ago, I got some. Well, I've got these, and he will like pull up his sleeves and show the tattoos that he has. It was from some very interesting traveling merchants, but from what I understand, they're elven in origin, and I was wondering if there are, if you had any knowledge on these kind of magical tattoos, and if it's possible to where I can get more.
Like scooches over on the bench next to you and like has a look, and her brow furrows and knits together. He like takes one of your arms, like turns it over and starts like following the patterns and stuff. It's just it's elvish, but it's really weird. This spelling is, and she like begins pointing out areas where like this spelling is wrong, and there's like an apostrophe here that shouldn't be there. It's bizarre. Weird. And then like takes a like step back and looks you up and down like, I don't know how. Do they work?
Yeah. Hold on a second, and it will take a step back and will think real hard and activate the tattoos and start heating up.
Weird. And she pulls out that pearl one more time and just begins casting Identify across your skin. This is fat. This is not like Elven I've seen anywhere. No one writes it like this. I guess technically the meaning is correct, but
I think they were from a different... Not plane. What's the one higher than a plane?
A spaceship.
Dimension? Oh my god. Oh my god. Get out. Get out of this.
Really good, David.
How did... This is why we have this. This is... Look at Megan. Look at Megan's face.
Andrew and Megan are just so not happy.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
This is...
I'm glad you're all having fun.
I'm sorry. I'll leave.
No.
Yes.
No, you're beautiful and perfect. I love you.
No, it was great. Don't worry.
Yes. Yeah, that might be one of the
Dimension? Universe?
different. One of those ones.
That is fascinating. She starts grabs a napkin and a random quill that she just summons out of the air and starts copying little excerpts from it. Sorry, I was this is Elvish from a different dimension is understandably that's kind of weird. Start taking notes. Right. As far as tattoos here, obviously I've got plenty of mine. Had a family friend that did some of these because they were studying under a teacher over in Sirenvar. This one, she gestures to the one of the wolf that looks slightly almost glittery in dark red. This one's like a protective type thing. I've had it for a very long time back when I wasn't so much of an old lady cooked up in my old house. But there are a couple teachers that can do this. This one was done by a friend. I don't know where they are now. If you wanted them, I don't know, to be honest. Sharing that kind of knowledge and technique, even just to put it on your skin, is the sharing of knowledge that has been protected for a very, very long time. You all are welcome here because of pretty incredible circumstances, and even then with an escort. To be shown kind of very protected and culturally important art forms is... I'm not saying it's impossible. It's never, I don't know. Uncommon for sure.
And understandable. If you do not want to share, it's definitely understandable.
It's not mine to share or not. It's just it's uncommon, and so finding someone that would be willing to do it for you is not something I think I can help you with. But if you were to spend some more time on Naratos, probably wouldn't hurt to maybe spread your name out a little bit more, be a bit more known. Because for now you're kind of no offense, please, but you're being shown around by Celestial, and they introduce you and why you're here, and that's kind of the level you guys are at.
You didn't know us before we got here?
No.
Wow. Okay. I guess we are not
work on a public image.
Yeah, we do. We do,
Yeah.
definitely.
Build up some reputation, and maybe you'll be allowed more free reign. I mean, there are some non-elves that live here, that travel around here freely, but I don't know. It's a small island. Most people know each other, and so being known allows you to move around with freedom. I feel like I'm not explaining this very well, but yeah.
You're saying you have a trust-based system, and
Yeah.
we haven't yet achieved that highest level, or
You
even
achieved
a particularly higher level.
Yeah. You're being vouched for at the beginning, but we don't know you.
That is fair.
Essentially, yeah. Does that help? I'm sorry. I know it's disappointing to. I mean, it's pretty incredible what you have already. Where did you get these?
Like I said, it was just some interdimensional, universal merchants who came. I believe there was Grebo's a name that I remember. A lot has happened since then, including dying, so it's a bit.
Right. I've heard that can mess with your memories somewhat. Huh.
Let's not go there.
Hmm.
Of course.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? Good Sir Nute that I can assist you with?
I think that's all from me, except thank you very much for your hospitality.
Well, our pleasure. As you guys are discussing that, Hemlock, as you and Scylla head out of the house and have through the trees, it seems to be a path that is one of the more trodden areas, like the subtly very sharp and dangerous jade leaves that fall off these trees are like swept to one side and make a few kind of more passable, softer paths through the
Just
through the trees.
picturing now in the strong wind, and you've just got the risk of just getting stabbed as you walk past. It's like
a storm is very serious because you might get decapitated.
Sorry, your Uncle Dave died on the way home. One of the leaves fell down and just went, it was very
straight
unfortunate.
through.
I'm Uncle Dave.
Oh no, he's
Oh
Uncle
no!
Dave.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Baby, no.
My nibblings.
So, Hemlock,
Yes.
I guess like a formal introduction. I am Sylvan Ti'rel, child of Baralan, of House Ti'rel. Hi, I'm here because Lady Tiestra is teaching me. They have a lot of experience with herbs and herbal remedies and medicine, and
Looks eyes go wide. It's like...
one of my first areas of study is medicine.
Oh, wow. I'm an apothecary. I have been for a very long time. That's
Weird, but
yes,
awesome.
it's very weird. Yeah.
Where? What do you specialize in?
Mainly herbal. I've been growing, and I'm a druid. Before I was a druid, I did gardening, and I really enjoyed it. And then the gardening became magic gardening, and I make tea. I make a lot of tea, and the tea does other things. Like
you became a druid without a teacher?
Yeah. I don't know either. It's something I've been trying to figure out.
Yeah, crazy one you are.
Yeah.
So,
but
what
yes.
happened to Asen?
Well, I don't know what happened to him per se, but he doesn't really talk about, he's always lived in the moment kind of person. Both of my parents, they don't really talk about who they were before they became. Oh gosh. I don't know how to put this delicately. Let's say seafaring adventurers of occasionally dubious morals.
Pirates.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how my parents met. Mason, my dad, he was on one ship and my mother was on another one, and they both came to this island in the Shattered called Levasuda, and they met and they fell in love, and then they had me. They left their ships, they stayed on the island for 14 years, then they went off back on sailing again.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool, though. And he, turns around as if he's being watched by, the house as it kind of fades behind you as you continue walking through this woodland. Sounds pretty exciting, too. I mean,
yeah.
we get kind of raised by our parents for like the first 10, 15 or so. Basics of etiquette and everything like that. And then to start with, you're just kind of sent to just go and learn stuff from people. And then as you go through, you just learn more stuff and you keep going until you find the things that you enjoy. Getting a hint that maybe herbalism isn't necessarily my thing. I appreciate it. Tiestra is incredibly knowledgeable, and every moment of the day that she is showing me the right places to pick herbs and how to grind them and make the extracts and put them into salves is fascinating. But she's not awake that long in the day. She's not awake, but they just bimble about the house. And
he wakes up, walks around for a little bit, has a nap, wakes up again, makes some dinner, goes to bed.
Doesn't even have to get up to make dinner. Everything's just like...
Very much.
Like a Merlin from The Sword and the Stone.
Yeah.
Wait, if they're elves, don't they go into a trance instead of sleep?
They just do it for a very long time.
Yeah, true.
I can get cozy in bed if they want. I don't know.
She's just lying down. She's not even asleep.
Just got really good at lucid dreaming through the meditation.
It's an elven art, sleeping.
I mean...
Which is like, most elves like struggle with it. They just trance kind of just in that state, and then there are some elves who have practiced the meditation so well they can fucking wipe out. And Tiestra has nailed it.
NSDR, isn't it? You know, non-sleep, deep rest. It's this whole like revolution. 10 minutes of that a day, and you're sorted.
Life
hacks.
Sylvan continues. So I fill most of my days with practicing with the spear. I climb trees a lot. Kind of when I get this herbalism nailed, so I can move on to the next thing.
Yeah. I don't know. This seems like a strange question to ask. Do you know why he left? Because he never talked about it. I asked him a couple of times and he never spoke about it. I assumed something bad had happened, but...
Berylin didn't talk about Aeson much either. He left kind of before I was born, so I never met him. So no, not really. Sorry.
It's okay. I was just wondering. I am gonna need to talk to him. I've not written in a while to either of them.
Same. I can pass on a message if you want to my.
Yeah, that would be nice. Just to say that I've been here, and I'd like to come back when we're not as busy as we are.
And maybe I could visit wherever it is that you are.
Yeah, of course. And I will do my best to sort of I will describe to him where we live. Of we have a manor. It's just outside of Adagan. Here's how you can find it. Blah 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 blah.
It's sexy.
And it's as you're explaining all of this, that I've the fragments of your adventures that you guys have talked about, and your parents being pirates, and you have a manor, and you're and you're 20, right?
Yeah.
Fuck. Well, whatever it's worth, it sounds like you've been a very busy half-elf.
Yeah.
And there's the fact that you're a mushroom.
I don't know that either. There's a lot.
I feel like he's 19 and he's like, shit, you've done so much more than me already.
I've got a lot to do in the next year.
I'm being sent to Herb University. I don't really like it that much. And you're like, I've traveled the world and I have a manor house.
Yeah, that's basically it. That's basically Hemlock has made her own startup she already has a house.
I've got a small business.
Yeah, she's known around as that girl who did this. Everyone knows her back at home.
To be fair, they know me back at home for bad reasons.
They still know her back at home. She's been on BBC once or twice. Yeah. There's no A, so I can put
I
Adagan
mean,
in it.
the monarchy did gift us a house.
Yeah. I'm a lady technically. Like
She's seen the queen like at 19, like right, like
mhm.
You have a title.
her friend is dating like Prince Andrew. Like, what is going on?
No, wrong prince.
You want that?
Wrong prince.
Not that one.
No,
Wrong
Prince
prince.
Lady Prince Harry. He's
Harry.
the show.
Lady
Let's
Prince
go with
Harry.
Harry. He's alright.
Is Hope
Right.
the Meghan Markle of
What's
the Adagan
What's the name of
universe?
What's the name
Yes.
of Harry's brother?
William.
William. Right. Yes. Not Andrew. Not the
Not
corresponding one.
Andrew.
No.
No.
Bad Andrew.
That's a different
That's
prince.
a bad Andrew or a Bandrew,
Yeah.
if you will.
He shouldn't be banned. Rude.
But yes, no, I would love to come back and meet my family. I never. I always just thought it was me and my mum and dad, and I've been, they were pretty independent. I've been pretty independent for a long time. I didn't.
Yeah.
This wasn't
look,
a thing that ever crossed my mind.
and that's okay. Like don't feel rushed or anything to come and discuss. Like family's a lot of work. Like just having mum and dad doesn't sound like the worst of times. The rest, for all the love and support that can be, it's also a lot of people. I don't know. People can be hard work sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
take your time.
Forgive me if this is too forward. Do you want to come back to Adagan with us? Because you seem quite bored here.
What makes it sound like I'm disrespectful and not grateful of the opportunity that I have to study?
Yeah, of course.
Yes,
For want of a
yes.
better word, yeah. Do you want to come back with us?
Yes.
Amazing. We can do that.
Okay. I'm gonna have a chat with the lady.
Yes.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
And I will go kind of half in for a hug,
He absolutely matches you in that
and then big hug. I'll give him yay.
And he gives you a good old squeeze and accidentally lifts you up. Like, oh, you're so. Are you eating enough? Sorry.
No, it's
Been sounding
fine.
for 12 hours. I'm already sound like a grandmother. Okay.
I'll go and pass that back on to the rest of the others. And I mean, you're welcome to come and stay with us if you'd like to, or you can find another place. We've got people. We've had a pub in our yard. It's hard to explain. I'm sorry.
I'll just see it for myself.
We've had a pub in our garden.
We have.
I mean, not wrong.
We have a pub in the yard.
We literally had a beer garden.
We had a beer garden.
Oh, boy.
All right. And if you're happy to, you guys want to head back to the house and
Yeah.
Why do I feel like everywhere we go, we pick up family members and go, come to our
You've got a mansion. You got to fill it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got rooms. We don't have that many rooms, do we?
You're gonna start getting to the point where you need more staff to take care of this kind of
I mean,
population that you're building.
because what I
Clean
remembered
their own
was
rooms.
no. Because what I remembered was we don't need our rooms, to be fair. We just should have one room where we all sleep together because we're never there anyway.
That's true.
No, I remember there was some houses outside of the mansion on the road to the mansion, or was that in my head?
That's in your head.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
that's
But
in my
then
head.
You
That's like
do
a
have
whole-
a hayloft and a small barn.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Hayloft.
On the map that I did.
Hey.
We should make a small village. We should make a small village where everyone in the village works.
Nickel Creek, yo. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
The Yalen Hall Village.
I mean,
It's
how-
like
Oh
more
god,
than
we're gonna become like those awful lords.
this is how a lot of villages start.
No.
We're gonna be landlords.
No, we are.
Just gonna say,
Literally.
all of the staff
Excuse me while
all
I
of the
vomit.
staff in Yalen Hall right there that live there and have a wonderful time. You are their landlords,
And they pay us in.
and you're very nice
labor?
landlords, and they have a great time.
Okay. So is the queen like the landlords of like most people in the country? No, right?
No.
Exactly. So
The
like
Queen
if
doesn't own all of the land in
Exactly.
the UK.
But
so like
you own Yalen Hall, and they live
right,
there.
but if
Yeah.
they make houses outside of the estate,
I mean, then you don't have permission to build on.
Well, that's
what
not
you're-
allowed.
we can't do that.
Anyway,
They pay for that themselves, or we pay for it.
before
but-
we delve into the intricacies of land ownership, as Hemlock and Sylvan return and begin convincing and asking and finding the permissions to leave Naratos and come with you and on what for this guy is a massive adventure of leaving Naratos. And
I'm so excited for
if
him.
there's,
I'm
if
so
there's nothing
excited.
else, are you guys ready to
Insane.
pack up and get ready to go?
Yes.
I don't want to RP it, but as we're kind of packing up and getting ready to things go, I would like to talk to Tiestra about herb things and just
It's like you know those drive-by conversations with professors
Yes.
about a subject that they are stupidly knowledgeable in. It's that.
It's been a long time
She's
since
hundreds
Hemlock's
of years old.
It's been a long time since I've gotten to talk to someone who like is in the same area, and like I think she's I'm not around people who know herbs that much, so I think oh yeah, I'm pretty knowledgeable. It's immediately just like, oh Christ, I've got so much more to learn.
And you can come back any day.
Yes.
And you can just touch a tree and come back any day.
Yeah.
We absolutely welcome you to that. If you ever want to brush up on some herbalism, share some new skills that you've learned, or someone
Yay!
who's taught her centuries of knowledge on druidism and the arcane in her purview, which for her is slightly more transmutation, then you are more than welcome to. And like there is like a slight side eye towards Sylvan as she welcomes the concept of having new students, but it breaks it. It's not malicious.
Nope.
Well,
There is a bit of like you scoundrel you, but there's it's like education is completely free and oversubscribed in Naratos, and so people just float around studying stuff, and no teacher wants to teach a student that doesn't want to be there. And so, as more of a friend than a teacher, Tiestra is excited for Sylvan to go and to explore and stuff. Sure.
just want to make sure if we are starting to pack our bags, just want to make sure that Hope is told of our departure.
Yeah, departure.
And that we are going to leave, and asking her about what she's going to do, if she's staying, how long is she staying, and when she's coming back.
Well, just saying, because we are now at
Yes.
25-2, do you want to have this as things that we can start off with after the break?
Yeah.
Sure. In which case, we shall find our way to our halfway break just here, and we will be gone for half an hour. So you guys go and get yourselves a drink, go and get yourselves some snacks. Thank you so much for being with us so far, and we will see you guys at 9:05 to pick up, to say goodbye to found family, to take with us some others, and make our way home to Adigan. And we'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
See you all in a bit.
Bye.
Hello.
And we're back.
Hello.
Hey everybody.
Hi, hi.
Welcome on back. Hope you guys have had a nice little break and got yourselves some water, some snacks if you need it. And welcome on back.
Hydrate.
Of course.
Hi.
Straight
Trey.
away.
There with the hydrate. Tal keeping us alive as always.
We need
my
it, to be honest. Without Tal, I think I'd actually die.
I reloaded the roll 20. The music scared me so fucking much. God, because I put the sound on max and it just, wow. All right.
Yeah. Cool. Well, as we pick up back where we left off, as Hemlock and Sylvan, this elven cousin that you have apparently come across and invited to return home with you, you return and begin conversations of Sylvan leaving, of coming with you back to Yalen Hall, saying your goodbyes to Tiestra, and Hope as well comes to the fore alongside her mother, Colonna. She hugs all of you tight, commands you with all the authority she can muster to stay safe and to take care of each other and yourselves, and says that she plans to stay on for probably another few days at least, within contact of Soraya to make sure nothing urgent pops up, but to take this time to reconnect with her mother, Colonna, and potentially go and meet the rest of the family. And as you guys get the rest of your things packed and ready to go, is there anything else you guys would like to do as you all get ready to depart Naratos? Alrighty, then who is doing the honors?
I will do the honors. Why not? And find, I mean, all of the trees around here are jade, so I'll find a regular. I'll find the closest regular
A tree.
Alrighty. It's about an hour or so walk to find the shortest way out of this section of the wood, to where there is enough open soil for a non-stone jade tree to grow. But you do find one led by Silen, who knows the area well.
While we're walking, I will give them a bit of a briefing about what to expect when we get back.
Perfect. They carry with them a bit of like a duffel bag type deal. They put on a pair of like leather kind of like thong-esque sandals that kind of like tie up around the calves. Their spear goes in the back. They tie the hair back, and you find your way to this tree. And as you place your hand across it and think of the place at home, your vision goes black for a moment, and you feel yourself rushing, channeling like a raging river through a narrow channel as you flow through the weave itself. As you carve this passage from one living plant through the roots, through the ground, through the water, through the waves, and finally locate that one familiar place. And the tree on the other side splits open with a cracking, twisting sound as bark kind of flitters away as it splits open. And you all step out into a light rain. A greyish, overcast sky, still bright out, but giving you that slight sprinkling of rain. And you look past kind of another few small trees that thin as they get closer to the main path, and you see the same familiar stone walls of home. Yellenhall Manor in its somewhat glory, clean. The shrubs around the base of the walls are neatly kept. The vines that grow up the pale stone have been trimmed. And you are home. Yay!
Well, welcome back, Maple, and everyone. Guess it's been a while.
It has been a while.
It's been like
Well,
almost
it
2
feels
weeks. Oh.
longer than it
You're
has
muted,
been.
Alex.
Yeah.
You're still muted, Alex. There we go.
Yeah, it's been quite a time. I mean, it's been like a rough week, to be fair.
It has.
It's been like 8 days of moving around in different planes.
Oh boy.
Place. Yeah.
Well, let's get inside, get settled in. Can find you a room, Silen. Welcome to our home.
Yeah, wow. I mean, you warned me, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, on a wider level, welcome to Adagan, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I will follow your lead.
Yes, of course.
And also, like, I'm not gonna, like, tag along to all of your stuff and get in the way. I'll make myself busy.
I mean, sure, we would find,
Splendid.
worst case scenario, there is nothing to do on the estate. There is always the city of Adagan close by where you can just go and find some work and just.
We are in a war right now.
Yeah, I was going to say heads up on that one.
Yes, heads
Yeah.
up.
We are in a war at the moment.
No, I know.
So.
I think I'll probably just take, like, as you guys like walking up to the house.
Yeah.
I'll probably just take like a day or so maybe here to just settle and learn
Of course.
the land here. And then maybe stretch out a little bit further afield. But all of you, thank you for welcoming me back here.
At this point, I'll be honest, we have a large estate. Any family of the Soulguard is always welcome to just stay. So even if it's just new family that we heard about like a day ago. So we've got a lot of free rooms, I think.
I don't need much space. I'm sure that we can find somewhere that's tucked away.
We can get a room sorted for you, no worries.
All right. As you guys head back in, you are greeted by a familiar, the familiar face of Felix, who comes to the door and immediately helps take some of your things, welcomes you all back, and begins to eat everyone. Or would you like? I guess it's. Have you eaten breakfast? Where have you come from?
What time is it? Is it morning?
It's morning. You about an hour or so after you guys got up, had your chats and conversations going. It's like mid to late morning.
Okay.
We've had breakfast. We've just come from Naratos.
Sure. You need anything? Have you? Is there a time difference?
I think we're good. This is. Oh, I should introduce you. This is Silen, by the way. He's my cousin. He's going to be staying with us for a bit.
So, welcome. I'm Felix Dorain. I'm the butler here at Yale Manor. If there's anything I can help you with, please do not hesitate to ask. Myself and the rest of the staff will do it whatever we can to provide. And looks toward the rest of you guys. Is that?
Yeah.
Cool. Great. Yeah. Welcome. Will we be needing a room for a protracted period of time, or is this a short-term stay?
I'll look to Silen. You're welcome here as long as you want.
Okay. Longer term? Longer term it is. All right, fine. We'll get a room set up with linens and all that. You guys don't any of you worry about any of that.
I also would like us to keep in mind that the last time Felix saw us was when we were here having Maple's funeral.
Oh yeah, Maple's
as he's in official mode, sorting this stuff out, and eventually catches a glimpse of Maple. He does his eyes narrow slightly as a smile kind of spreads across his little face. And he kind of Lady Maple.
The salute.
Glad to see that knocking you down doesn't count for much these days.
Apparently not.
And you have or puts a hand out and it's at ranging. Is it a handshake? Is it a shoulder pat? Is it a
Maple will do one of those grabbing his hands and pulling him in for a little shoulder slap.
Okay, very
one of
nice.
those.
One of those bro hugs.
Okay, he leans in place basically the second he's this is what we're doing. Cool, all right. Anyway, I'll notify the rest.
It's nice to see you, Felix.
And you. All right. Well, I'll notify the rest of the staff. And are you guys staying for lunch? You guys bouncing off somewhere else? Traveling across the seas again?
I think we're staying for a little bit.
We were going to check in with Jed, which we shall do as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So will you get lunch in town and then probably come back for dinner?
Sure.
Sounds good.
Sounds like a plan.
Perfect. All right. Well, I'll make sure we get enough food done for a lot of you. Silen, are you eat meat? Not Silen is vegetarian, so cool. Veggie. Got it. All right. Well, is there anything you need? Let me know.
Felix, you're a star.
Yeah, as always, great.
Aww.
Wonderful.
But if you have any job, if you know what, if I was just gonna say if you and talking to Hemlock's cousin, if you needed to put your hands to work or wanted to do something, I'm sure Felix can tell you if there is anything you can do in the estate. Rather than us, we're not really here. So
Yeah, of course. I'll get the lay of the land and explore somewhat. But yeah, I can certainly earn my keep.
I mean, there is also the workshop. There is the workshop that is open if you want to tinker.
I'm sure Hemlock will show him the
Apothecary
workshop.
Yeah, the other part of the workshop. We Hemlock and I have kind of a roommate situation with the workshop. It's yeah.
Honestly,
And
cool.
if you're skilled with druidic magic, then
Poor boy.
the Adagani military always needs people who are skilled with herbalism and druidic nature-based magic. So
Druidism is probably a little beyond my skills for now.
At which point, Marigold will probably be like, "Oh yes, I was back here making potions for the army beforehand because Hemlock does have a setup for that."
Perfect.
yes, they're good people to work for. Maybe I'm biased. Looks at the pauldron.
Just a little bit, Markos.
Perhaps.
Maybe it's
All right. Well, if you, I guess, attend to your business, and I'll, Hemlock, I'm sure you can show me around your apothecary here.
Of course.
This poor boy.
Just
He's gonna be expecting a nice little like tea making herbal shop, and he's gonna
I-
get
No.
Yeah,
heads.
I will put there is a curtain over the hag shelf. I specified that. You don't have to show him.
you might
Yeah.
need to get another shelf.
I might. Yes, I have a lot of
No, but
hearts in my
he's
bag right now.
Be
He's
clarified,
gonna open the curtain looking for like a herb that he can't
Yeah.
find or something.
my
and
God.
like,
We'll show him. I'll just give him a bit of a warning first.
At some
Okay.
point, you're just
Yeah.
gonna turn to him and be like, "Look, don't bother trying to prepare yourself for the workshop. It won't be enough. Just good luck. You'll be fine."
okay. I'll specify, at this time, if you guys want to drop anything off in the house, either deposit your haggy bits, or
I'm
Like
gonna
things
deposit
in
the
there-
haggy bits.
okay,
Oh,
or deposit things in the armory.
Maple will also go and put some of her own clothes on.
Perfect. Cool. Get dressed in your home clothes.
Yeah.
We'll put the sword in the armory because we have an armory, so why not?
Yeah, what, Fainathil?
Yeah, Finlafel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Until then,
Maple, you've got. I'm just looking at what's still listed in the bag. Maple, you've got Hexlith's bound blade now, right?
I do.
Cool.
cool.
Um,
Andrew, can we go on the mentions map, please?
I guess. Yes.
I will also drop off because I've been carrying because we never stopped back home after going to the Babbling Sage. I will drop my dad's staff off in my bedroom
Okay.
because I've just been carrying that on my back since then.
do you have the Tome of Clearthought?
I do not. I do not have it on me.
Okay.
If I will grab that from you.
Cool. I'll remove that from the bag of holding then if
Thank
you want
you
that,
very
because I
much.
remember you saying you wanted to read it.
Yes, please.
So that'll be some nice bedtime reading for you whilst we're at home.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, yeah. Yeah, cool.
Alrighty.
Andrew.
How is it?
I just want to add that you guys, as Maple was coming back down the stairs in one of her like shirts or whatever, you see her like look down at it, and she just like rips the sleeves off at the
Yep.
shoulders. She's like, sleeves never fit me properly anyway. What's the point?
It's a good look.
I think I heard someone say once sleeves are bullshit.
Yeah.
These are bullshit.
I would agree.
Very wise monk once
Now
said.
her like big
Yes.
muscly arms covered in like black lightning scars are very exposed.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Aww. It
She's
makes
also
me.
not going to bother with shoes.
Alright.
Nice.
CBA.
Are there any
That's
more-
I'm so happy to be back in the mansion. I mean, we haven't been. Yeah. I'm just
It's been a
looking
minute.
at. I'm just looking at the map like, oh yes, I love that map.
In general, as it has crested towards autumn, many of the trees are either losing or lacking their leaves. There are, like, out of like the main thoroughfares, like on the main paved like entryway and the small road which goes off toward the barn, it is swept, but the rest of like the grounds are like kind of left kind of wild, with the grass getting a little bit longer. And many of the fallen leaves kind of building up into piles where the wind blows them. The sides of the house are wet. The windows have like small little beads trickling down them. There is a smell of just about fading smell of freshly baked bread. Yeah, the living wood tree has actually grown a little bit. It's been a week since you've seen it last, but that thing grows quick. It's gained maybe like 2 or so feet.
I've just remembered something. I never dug up cellophane.
No, you didn't. Nope.
He's just
Where
been
is he?
there. He's like in the trees somewhere behind the workshop. He's been there for,
Vibin'.
like 2 months.
Yeah. Oh god. Okay.
He's just chilling. I'll get back on that.
Yeah.
Fertilizer.
By the way, Megan was telling us it's actually been 2 weeks since we left the manor.
Oh.
I tell a lie.
Oh, you tell a lie?
I forgot that we came
Oh.
back for Maple's funeral.
Yes.
It's actually been 9 days.
Okay.
9
Okay.
days.
All
We
right.
have a
Nice.
Is there anything else you guys want to do in the house before making the journey back to Adigan to find Jed?
It's
As
just
a
letting-
reminder, there's also a
letting-
delivery waiting for Markos.
yes.
Yes.
There is.
I guess
right.
just kind of
Um,
letting the staff know that we're here, saying hi to them, making sure they've been okay.
Oh,
I'm
Marigold
gonna-
wants to go and gossip with Kansif and see if anything has progressed. Because if so, she will message Hope.
Oh god, yeah, I want to know about that too. God.
So, for those wonderful viewers that haven't necessarily been to Evan Hall, there is a little cohort of staff that work here, including Felix the butler, Malky the steward, Kansif the cook, Orisk the groundkeeper, Sibo and Eloise and Pelias as all like kind of general staff. They're all they all welcome you back very happily. That you guys like the best employers. Like it's just like here's your wages in advance.
We are.
They're
Live in
basically
the
just
mansion.
like housemates who just work there to pay rent.
Help us, yeah,
pretty much.
like,
Just take care of your
we're
house.
so nice to them.
We're hardly there. It's practically their house. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
notice you are informed that Malky has actually, as you guys are very rarely here, and now that all the setup of the house is done, they're not doing an awful lot of organizing. They have forfeited half of their salary, and they are splitting their time working somewhere else.
That's fair.
Yeah.
How dare he?
He won't need to be here until we like organize Hemlock's
Yeah, like-
birthday or something.
They're fully still in the door. If you need them for stuff, they will come back. But
Cool.
they came here to gain experience as a steward and haven't done really any stewarding.
Oh bless.
Poor guy.
He got all our furniture and was then sort of abandoned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're all very, very pleased to see you. As regards to Kansif, the half-orc cook, and Felix, the butler, have they are. It's still early days.
Are they
It hasn't been
courtier?
very long. They've gone on a couple nice walks.
Oh.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Marigold has way better charisma than Maple, though.
Am I with you, Maple?
Marigold is the one who's talking to Kansif right now, but you can be
Oh.
there if you want.
Okay. No, come on. Tell her.
Are you going to give her bardic inspiration?
No, I'll just try to help her. We haven't been there a lot, and any social interaction we don't really know. It's been like weeks. We've went through different dimensions. We really need that gossip.
Please give us the tea.
Please.
Make your persuasion check, you. It's a long build-up.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's gonna be nothing happened.
Oh wait, am I rolling with advantage
Yes,
if
yes,
Ashura is
Ashura's
helping me? Okay. We roll this other dice. Okay. This dice. The only problem with this dice tray is it cocks dice a lot.
That's
That's gonna be a 15.
15. Apparently, it was quite embarrassing, which is why it takes her a minute to divulge. They were going for this nice walk, and like she thought there was a moment, and like maybe was like leaning in, but like he wasn't looking, and so like she like gave up before he noticed.
Oh.
shit.
So like it's fine, nothing happened, but like I don't know.
I mean, Marigold will probably give one of her text mark rousing speeches that she does.
Oh my god. We need to
With
tell
her
her.
whole,
We need to tell her.
her whole 14 charisma.
Perfect.
Like in her
good.
tiny voice will be like, "Well, do it with confidence next time. You got this, girl."
Didn't realize Marigold was Margaret Thatcher.
You. How dare you?
got this, yes.
How dare you sully Marigold's name with that hag?
Damn.
Hey, don't paint hags in that light. Come on.
And
That's
this,
cool for the hags.
considering our talk about land ownership earlier and this now, if Chasing Tales has, political opinions expressed are.
Anti-Margaret Thatcher.
Anywho,
Disclaimer.
You successfully catch up on the gossip of the house, deposit and retrieve any items that you want. You get changed, chill out, have a bit of a drink. Are you guys content to make your way towards Adigan?
Yeah, boys.
More.
Alright. It is about an hour or so walk. It is one you have done many times before. The rain persists.
Many times
About
drunk.
halfway through your journey. It fades. The overcast sky opens up slightly, and you get those kind of beams of light which kind of scan across the hillsides. But eventually you make your way in through the walls of the city. As it rises up near the shores of Lake Gen, you pass through familiar streets. And although it's only been little more than a week or so, it feels like it's been a long time. Having traveled across plains through different levels of the Underdark, through Hakuri settlements of such completely different cultures, to then immediately come back home and be walking the same city streets that you have so many times before is jarring, but comforting. You find yourselves trekking the familiar path, and you see you see rising above the skyline, the rising castle and the citadel that rises up toward the lakeside. You see where within the walls of the castle, the livingwood tree, the massive tree that towers above the skyline, overlooking this whole space, kind of a beam of light scans across it, and you see almost in a moment that kind of picturesque silhouette, that shadow cast by it as the sunlight scans across its glowing, still verdant green leaves, even at this point in autumn.
I will give a little telepathic hello to Lithia if we get close enough.
All right.
Nothing more, just hi.
Cool. Are you guys heading towards Jed? Are you diverging towards Daenerys? Where are you guys going first?
Should we go to Jed first?
I think
Yeah,
it is
I
important
reckon
to
Jed
debrief,
first.
yes.
I think the debrief is the most important.
I mean,
Also,
as far as they know,
sorry, you go.
Go ahead.
no, it's okay. I was just saying, as far as Jed knows, the Titan on Titan's back is going to stand up in a few weeks, so we should probably let them know first.
Sooner the better.
Yes.
I was just gonna say, I wonder if the dryad in the living wood tree gets a telepathic message from Hemlock and is like, "Huh, that's new.
Wow.
You couldn't do that before."
Why did that mushroom say hi to me?
I can't. The crown that she gave me is in me now. I can't
Why is there a Myconid here?
That's it.
I'm confused.
With that point, you are drawing looks. Like, one, you're the Soulguard. People know who you are. Half of you went on a tour of the country after you slew Ivrinfar the Red Dragon. Tales of your exploits, while in Naratos you are a little less known in Adigan, people know who the Soulguard are. People start, you hear people just being like, "Oh, that's them, yeah, is that really? What? Is that," like, you hear those, whispered,
Ashura thinks he's a fucking pop star.
Andrew, can I please do something with the major image?
Yes, of course you can.
Can I have a band of other Ashuras just behind us, just dancing?
Can I make a stealth check?
You absolutely can.
This isn't to not be seen. This is to not be seen near Ashura.
But there's tons of me.
100%.
There's tons of me. You can't. We're everywhere.
That's a 17 plus
In a 20-foot radius.
fucking a million.
15.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
people see you. People see that. For some reason, there's such a block in their memory regarding the connection of the two.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And Hemlock, at times you start to notice people noticing you, your from afar. It could be a hat, it could be whatever, but as you are walking through these slightly narrower streets and you get closer to people, there are looks of curiosity and kind of questioning and intrigue, some of which seem innocent, some of which seem fearful.
Just have the mask.
Yeah.
Do you have the mask on?
No, the mask is not on. I only wear that when we fight.
Okay.
No, I will feeling that look, kind of move into Nute and take
Nute
his
will-
hand.
I was about to say, Nute will take your hand and give it a squeeze.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It'll be
Aw.
They'll get used to it.
Nice. I just want to bring attention to the fact that Matt in the chat was like, imagine me staring in awe in the streets as you walk through. And there's just an NPC that looks exactly like Matt.
We all look at him and we all.
Wait, is that Matt from Facebook?
Oh shit! No, wait, that's him.
That Matt from that famous play.
Hey, that's the one who's using all the spells.
There was this like kind of younger human man, fairly cute, who like has like a kind of fairly short cut hair, just kind of like fairly simple clothing.
With
so, like,
Oh shit!
He's from a
Like-
local band of bard wizards called the
Yeah,
Verbal
yeah.
Components.
Yeah,
Quartet.
Cannon!
There's just this slight look of awe. It's like you are strange but beautiful, and
True.
the range of reactions is broad.
Bro, I just spit my coffee. He says.
Love you, Matt. Love you, Matt.
Eventually, you do find yourselves along this kind of the row of like official buildings when you get near to the Living Wood Yard, where you know the Royal Covert Commission is. You are welcomed inside. They recognize that you work here technically, and Jed is present. He comes down. You see him coming down that central set of stairs that is in between this kind of open space full of desks and clerks and stuff. Right, you lot.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
That's new. Gestures towards Maple.
Yeah.
There's more good news. Come on. He kind of
Oh god.
beckons that you all follow him back towards his office.
I'm so excited for Jed. I love Jed.
Jed's happy for once.
Literally.
Still stressed, but with a
This is the
positive
first
tone.
time we've seen Jed and he's not been like, ugh.
No, he's still
difference-
stressed and breathless, just positive
Good
now.
way.
Yeah.
You notice immediately. Jed is this kind of middle youngish, like 30s human gentleman with kind of usually slightly messy, kind of blonde, messy hair. He was clean shaven when you first met him, and in the months as you've known him, he has developed this slightly shaggy, unkempt look of a man stressed at war.
Bless Jed.
Now he has a moderately well-groomed goatee, and the sides are shaved. At this glance, relatively recently, his clothes are a little bit better fitting. As you say, still stressed and breathless,
Has
but
Jed been promoted?
he's a little bit more put together.
Ooh.
Taking care of himself.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
I hope Jed has
like
been
our
promoted.
manager.
He fucking deserves it.
Yeah,
As
right.
you follow him and he leads you back, kind of got a familiar little labyrinth of corridors, and finally to his office behind a little oak wooden door. He gestures for you to like stand about. He hasn't got like
Chairs.
5 chairs at the office, but he just
6 chairs if Marigold is here.
I'll like lean next to a potted plant then.
Perfect. There's what I plan there.
Perfect.
It is the same office. You do notice it's slightly
Nice.
like when you've been here before. It's just a mess of papers and like things coming in and out. And now it's It's still a bit messy, but it's slightly more put together and taken care of.
It's
He
almost
takes a seat.
chaos.
Yeah, like he takes a seat. He pours himself a little tankard of water. Takes a sip.
Yes,
Oh,
but stay,
why mind
stay
this?
hydrated, Jed.
Very important.
Right. I'll brace myself.
Ooh.
What have you been up to?
Ah,
Jed, why do you ask? Why do you ask?
Can
It's relevant to
can I do
national
it?
security.
Should I do it? I feel like if I
Who
no.
wants to do
Ashura,
it?
no.
You don't do it.
Sure, no, that's a bad idea.
Markos.
Oh.
Markos should do it.
Yeah, Markos, you do it.
Yeah.
We'll get a scroll.
I
Alright.
feel like me.
Well,
No big words.
this year's Petroluna will be a very nice one.
It's good to know. I had plans.
Well,
We all have plans.
Was one of those plans to hydrate?
Oh, shit.
Oh damn!
Thank you, Tal.
let's just say maybe you would need to work on that day.
Just so I'm not misunderstanding, you're saying that the big terrible thing you warned me of last time isn't going to happen?
Pretty much.
Cool.
Okay.
I mean, that doesn't mean
so-
that other big terrible things might not happen, but the one that we were worried about is definitely not going to happen, at least for next few hundred years.
Yeah, which is fine.
That's pretty good.
Which means it's out of Jed's worries. He's
Yeah.
definitely not going to be here by then.
You're good.
You mentioned that.
Why do you always bring up mortality and
I'm
how?
sorry.
That wasn't in character.
No, that wasn't in character.
Last time we spoke, you, this Lich Queen, Kaiser, had this plot with the Titan.
hmm
What happened? What's changed?
Well, blur.
Okay.
But-
Divulge the same summary that I gave at the start of the session.
Yes.
Wow! He says.
Wow. Big.
He makes notes of the important points. The ritual has been interrupted. The Titan won't stand up. Kaiser is still perfectly as much of a threat as she was before, but this particular element of the plan has been disrupted.
One of
As
our
is
lieutenants is
Isako.
dead. Yeah.
Isako is
What-
pretty
But
cool.
he can come back, but we've got his sword.
And
Okay.
one of her lieutenants is
Ophelia
dead.
is dead, yeah.
Ophelia's dead. Yeah. And there's still 3 of them. I counted them. I have all.
Yeah,
Mhm.
3.
Yeah.
Grave General, Void Watcher, and Pit Fiend. Yeah.
Yeah, there's 3 of them, and Isako, wherever the
Yeah.
fuck he's floating around now.
Back to her.
All right. He finishes taking notes after this. Yeah, asks a few clarifying questions about the circumstances.
Makes sense.
Well, I'm glad this ended with a rough journey, but kind of the best outcome we could hope for.
Yeah, we got Maple back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Hey, Jen.
I was.
Hey, Jed.
Weird to say. I'm sorry you died.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird thing. Don't worry about it.
Hey, you never
I'm
said
aware
that
that
to
it
me.
is. The word.
I didn't have much of a chance.
I'm joking.
You were a very
Rory.
fuck that kind of deal. All right, now, it's good news-ish.
Okay.
Right, okay. So, a couple of days after you left, for a while, the front lines have been relatively quiet. After the dealings with Ebstone, things kind of stalled out for a little bit. We thought they were gathering their forces to retake the fortress after we took it back. Nothing happened. We sent some folks out to have a little look. We sent some of our scouts and things out to look beyond the front line to see what's going on. And it was lots of standing around. And eventually, somewhere near the south border, we intercepted an encrypted message. We managed to decode it, and it was basically, I can't go into all the specifics, but it was essentially confusion within Von.
All right.
We have had word directly from them. Apparently, now in the last few days, before I get ahead of myself, in the last few days, things slowed down. 2 days ago, we heard the official call that Von's campaign against Adigan has been ceased.
Wow.
It's not quite that simple, though. High Councillors Certain, Lachille, and Brought. They are the councillors of... Hold on. He says as he checks his list of notes to see which places they are councillors of.
Could you type those names in chat as well, please?
Yes, I
See
can.
that?
Not this second. I will.
Yeah, it's fine.
High Councillor Hunan brought the Councillor of Takahashi, which is the location in which they produce a large portion of their arcane war machine. High Councillor Lachille, the councillor who oversees their kind of main training facility known as the Anvil, and also High Councillor Certain, the overseer of Port Ballanray. Those 3, apparently, if we are to believe the communiques from Von, have been operating somewhat off of, in their own interests. They have apparently been providing misleading information to the rest of the councillors to influence their decisions, to, under false pretenses, encourage various actions, including attacking Adigan. The reasons for this are currently unknown, hence the very recent nature of this information obviously makes this very confusing with regards to what a lot of the soldiers believe. While many of the soldiers are from across Von, many of them were trained by Councillor Lachille and her generals. Many of the warhorses were made in High Councillor brought workshops. So loyalties being what they are, we cannot rule out any danger from these. However, their attention is turning inward. As it seems these conspiracies essentially are being uncovered, these three councillors are having to watch the districts around them more than they can worry about us. So yeah, that. Unstable, uncertain, but good news, I think. Yeah, take a minute. Questions?
What are the future steps that Adagan is going to take, based on what you know?
For now, what I know, wait, that absolutely might just be that I've not been informed of the next steps, but
Right.
most of our moves here have been defensive, and as the offensive moves from Von back off, and by all accounts, our intelligence matches what we've heard from our communicators from Von. We remain vigilant, but that's pretty much it. We stay vigilant. Yeah, we are sending more and more scouts into Von to verify this information, but we have to be careful. Like I said, loyalties are difficult to assess. Now, we've put together some examples potentially of almost trademarks of those specifically loyal to these three conspirators. In combat, there were a few occasions, one of which I believe you are quite familiar, where they wielded magic not used by the rest of their cohort, or who apparently did not bend under interrogation even by Volman forces when kidnapped for conspiracy, or arrested for conspiracy. And because of this, it's hard to know exactly whether or not a soldier will obey the bidding of the council, or if they will wait for a specific word from Certain, the Shill, or Brought. And so if a group of Volman soldiers say, we'll escort you into Voln to help mend these wounds of false pretense war, they also might be luring you into some kind of trap. And so no degree of caution is excessive at this stage.
Jed,
Yeah.
do you know anything about what kind of different magic they're using? Because the magic that killed me wasn't something we've ever seen before.
I did. I mean, I think it was the one on Darauskin, right?
That's the one.
Do you have any source that we know of where they might have gotten this magic? I mean, obviously they're a magical nation, but if that's something that's never been seen before.
Mostly from what we heard of from you, Ashura, the initial spell itself seemed to be, while creepy, being on drow skin, is Dunamancy. It's magic studied by the Hukuri. That in itself is not too strange. The councillors have a grasp of much of the arcane. That's not unusual. The fact that it summoned that creature, that Nightwalker, that was strange. There were a couple other instances of demonic activity and excessive necromancy. There was an incident near Ebstone. After we took the fortress, we buried the enemy dead. Out of respect, on the battlefield, we buried them. But then they dug themselves up again. A number of them, not all of them, a number of them which seemed to have similar... I think they belonged to a similar, like a single squadron or squad or whatever they use. They all clawed their way back out of the dirt. They weren't too hard to put down again, but the fact that happened is unusual.
About that, first of all, I mean, I'm not the smartest button in the box, but I'm going to make the obvious link here. certain Lich Queen is working towards, while currently not a Titan, still an undead army. So,
Yeah.
don't want to think she's trying to skew the war or anything, but could be something to do with that. Also, I'm going to mention this. It's a pretty sensitive thing, so maybe don't go spreading it around. But apparently, I'm undead. Something went wrong with the whole thing when I died next to that thing, and then I came back. Touched some element of my soul or whatever. So.
And are you quite in control of your own?
Oh yeah, like I'm fine. I've not had any weird goings on for the last 2 days.
You just show up as a little necromantic to certain magical detection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So.
You did say it was one specific squadron, right? Were other people that were also in the ground wake up, or just them?
It seemed to be just that squad. We took the fortress. There were 150 soldiers holding it at the time. About 20 of them clawed their way out.
If they'd had enchantments placed on them prior to death, or if they'd been physically altered in some way, that's explainable. If it was one particular squadron, maybe that squadron answered to one of these 3 conspirators, or their general did, as compared to others which didn't.
That's our working theory. And it's unnerving because essentially the 3 conspirators are the councillors that will lead the loyalties, or will have the potential to lead the loyalties of their elite training of their elite troops. The Grey Blades are all trained by Lashil. The most high-tech arcane war machines, and one of their 2 ports where they produce warships. Those 3 being the ones to be these key actors is obviously a problem. And it's one of the reasons the rest of Von does not just instantly solve this, is because they command a lot of the military forces within the nation. But you're right, with the potential link to this Kaiser. I don't know if their goal is to side with Von or... Sorry, sure, carry on.
No. So the possibility is we do not know what pushed the councillors, right?
If Kaiser had maybe gotten to them and...
That's my idea.
Been able to offer them something. Power, control, anything.
Things like that.
I mean, she's a lich. She's the kind of person that chased ultimate undeath until the end, so she can offer people anything they want, pretty much.
I have a DM question, actually.
Yes, hello.
Back before matters of shit went down, Kaelin told people about Lashil as someone who oversaw their training. And I would have, as Kaelin mentioned to the Soulguard, I guess, a bit about what I would have known of her personally.
Sure.
I was wondering if I could pass that on.
Have some of that revived.
Yeah.
Lashil is a military to the core, incredibly ruthless, very intense. It is not a mentally healthy place to be trained. They break you all the fucking way down, and they turn you into obedient and incredibly effective soldiers. The soldiers that come out of, many soldiers go there and then leave without completing it and fail the training.
Sorry, Andrew, I think I misunderstood. The councillor is named Lashil, right?
The councillor is named Lashil, and she oversees the training place, which is called the Anvil, which is where which is where Kaelin trained.
She is a high councillor. She is also in control of this.
Of the Anvil.
Stuff. Cool. She is a... her name is Reverend Thala Lashil. They hold the appearance of a middle-aged, muscular half-orc. The most plainly dressed of the councillors in their day-to-day, they are commonly found in leather armor decorated with a platinum plating and a black cape. Very intense, very ruthless. If a bad enemy to have by any account. Almost as important as the fact that they command, from the troops that make it through the training, they command utter obedience and loyalty.
Kalen would have absolutely mentioned this to you guys.
All right. So if the main idea here is to make sure that there is a link. I mean, in our case, I understand from Jed's point of view, it's a bit different. But if we're focusing on the Lich Queen, we need to make sure that there is, at least if there is one, we need to make sure that there is a link between those counselors and the Lich Queen, because that would be an extremely delicate situation.
And if there is that link, what can we do about it? I mean, if they command such a huge control over some of the strongest parts of Valm, if we prove, to the other counselors, these three have a link to a Lich Queen, what are they going to do about it? What can we do about it?
Well, exposing it is a good start.
Mm-hmm.
What we need is for the rest of the councillors and the rest of the population to condemn them. Isolate them by just themselves and who is utterly dedicated, and then eradicate them. If it stays a grey area about are they really bad or not, people living in that in between is the worst. That's the dangerous part. But it also means we can turn our attention towards the Failed Hollow. You've pointed out that's a place to be wary of. We have had troops stationed near there. We have sent scouts around there. Nothing too much has come out, but there was one instance where a lesser demon was spotted in the woods.
Okay.
Well, do we know anything about the positioning of the rest of the council?
Mostly they stay within each of their own cities.
Right, I meant politically positioning.
They are even. They are a council of 9 even parties.
Right. My point was, do they? Because right now there is the war is in a ceasefire. I understand that. If the 3 councillors are to be found guilty, what is the next step? Would the rest of the council not continue the war, or just?
If currently the reason they've called off this ceasefire is they suspect that the war itself was founded and their causes for going to war was founded on misinformation spread by these 3.
Right.
So which is why the first step has been to halt the conflict. If they come to the conclusion that these 3 are guilty of conspiracy, I've got no fucking clue what they do about it. Kill them, exile them. They founded Volm as a benevolent thing. They rescued it from the Bilthimian Empire, which was this tyrannical, awful place. It's what we dealt with during the Giant War. Their alliance was more like an occupation. It was like that for their citizens, and that's what the councillors rescued it from. It's out of character for them to have spent the last 100 years building up this army, and that's if this conspiracy has been going on that long. Frankly, it's terrifying to see how deep it might run.
We've already seen creatures that. There are a multitude of ways, I suppose, that these councillors could have been influenced either by an offering from Kaiser, or we've already run into creatures that have the ability to take control of someone's mind. I suppose if it is that, then that's strangely the better of the 2 scenarios, because that means that they can be brought back from it. But there's no way of knowing that just from the knowledge that we have.
I mean, if they did it in conscience, there is not much we can do apart from, telling the rest of the council, and that's it.
Alright then.
Hello. Quick question for you, Jed. What happened to the body of that spell person who...
The Bannerman.
The Bannerman, that's the one. The one who attacked a few weeks ago. Is it still around?
I don't know. No idea.
I mean,
Probably-
presumably it was just left sort of on the shore, and did any soldiers pick it up, or?
I mean, in clearing up the shore side, yeah, the bodies were collected. The bodies of the Volmans were kept separate, and after the incident near Epstone, we burn enemy dead now.
That's not the answer I wanted to hear.
I'm not going to keep the body of a dead mage for 2 weeks while you guys go on a trip through the earth.
Did you do that thing where you can talk with the dead people at all?
It may have been done. If so, I don't know. I didn't hear about it.
Okay. I think that's
Maybe
something
not.
that we should try and
We
find
could
out.
follow that up.
Yes, that's for sure. I'm particularly interested in the scroll. Can you remind me the spell, Andrew? Did I know the spell?
I believe you did. It was Dark Star.
What level is that again?
8th
If
8th.
right. So
He's a big boy.
Big
It's a-
boy.
transcribing that in a scroll, you need to be a pretty good magic user. I'd bet my ass one of the 3 counselors did it. I wrote that scroll and gave a command for that troop to go.
I mean,
Possible.
wait, Ashura, is that something that you like has happened to your knowledge with the obviously with your influence with the military and the Hukuri? The whole thing of like the big darkness and then the big creepy Nightwalker thing coming through.
Not the Nightwalker thing. Dunamancy deals with primal forces such as time or gravity. The spell, the scroll had dealt in gravity. I've heard about it and read it in books. I don't know how to cast it or anything, but it's a very powerful spell.
Potentially could have been done by one of them, could have been done by Kaiser, and handed
Is
to them.
something Kaiser owned. You know, don't know how old that thing is or where it came from.
I mean, I guess the point I'm going towards here then is that wasn't just like that wasn't the spell as you recognize it then.
No. There was more to it. But
Corrupted in a way.
Markos brings a good point. It might just have been given by Kaiser.
I mean, the spell then.
Well, I mean, it's
If you say it's that powerful,
It's that powerful, and also I do not understand how they would know about Dunamancy.
I mean, they had a Seko, who was an undead drow.
Yes.
also on an extra note, Volm are like a piece of
They're
shit
very-
nation when it comes to magic. We have come across
I know.
that gravity wizard piece of shit when we were traveling
Oh,
to the
gosh.
Asian.
That's right. Fuck, that's right.
Like this isn't the first time that we've come across this.
No, it isn't.
They've
Didn't
had
come across
access
as
to
so powerful.
they've had access to Dunamancy before, but never like that.
Mm-mm-mm.
If they had an access to a spell to a mage powerful enough to make that scroll, and then had this alliance with Kisa or some kind of way to corrupt it in the way that it was, then
Chad, I have a question for you.
Sure, yeah.
When it comes to magic, I understand Volm is very much they love it. But do you know if they have any more limit to what they do, or is it very much open space? Do they deal in excessive necromancy? Do they have
They
limits?
have limits in the way that they don't use just every dead body as free labor.
Yeah.
You know, if similar to Maple, if someone dies and they've got the materials, brings them back. But as far as the moral nature of things, I mean,
It's a tough question. I understand.
yeah, like in a war, people will drop napalm on your face, like they'll burning hands you in the mouth, like
Napalm exists here.
yep,
it does now.
alchemist's fire.
Alchemist fire.
Um,
yeah.
You'll
Okay.
you'll shoot an arrow through someone's chest, but in the street, that's not morally acceptable.
I'm only asking because, for example, if Adagan came out with a scroll in Drauskin, I would actually ask where it came from. I do not know if
I think people would ask a similar question in Vol.
Yep.
So
Especially considering, like, the Hokuri have been not really on the surface for a while now, and Volm is very much on the surface.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on the surface, so what?
Also,
Well,
you can
Have skin on the surface. But
Yeah.
Sure,
It is another thing that Kaelin mentioned is that Volm's magic is so heavily regulated. Like, even to the extent that if you are a warlock, you have to go through, like, processes to prove your loyalty to the nation over your patron. So, like, because they never took those tests, and that's one of the reasons why they left.
So,
okay, yeah. Then it's for sure Kisa gave that scroll
Or at least has some way
to
corrupt it.
This is good. Well, it's
But we don't have that scroll. That's the thing. We have hearsay. We have our theories. We don't have anything solid to prove it yet.
It's a lot of things I can specifically get our folks to look out for, which is more than we had. We've had this theory that it is something to do with this Kaiser that is influencing this trio of conspirators, given these uses of necromancy. Markos?
Jed, this might be a really stupid idea. I mean, I don't know how much we've if we even have communicated with Volm on the Kisa front, like, too much. I believe we spoke to them about the Mind Flayers, but if we just let them know as a friendly reminder, just like, or a friendly notice, like, hey Volm, thanks for calling off the war temporarily. By the way, we're having some problems with people with necromancy and demons and stuff, so you might want to keep an eye on that.
Potentially. It depends who got that message, is the problem. If someone gets a message that is loyal to these conspirators, they burn the paper, move along. We don't
had a way
have
to get it to a counselor.
We don't have clear lines of communication directly to those councillors yet, and we don't know if it's just these three. It's an awful lot of I don't knows.
Do you have the list of all the councillors' names?
I can give it to you after the session.
I like that, please. Thank you.
Thank you. It's strange that you refer to our debriefing as a session, but
I feel like it's
not that strange.
That's pretty normal.
I mean, I can rattle them off. I mean, I got Gillois, Brought, Kincairn, Lachille, Vlaine, Maris, Grex, Cerdan, and Dreth. I'll send that as a list to you guys later on.
Like as much information as you had on the other one.
I can make that available to you guys.
Jed, obviously communications between Volm and Adigan, even if there is a ceasefire, are going to be difficult. We understand that. Is there this is going to sound really shady, and I apologize in advance. Is there the potential for a person or people who are currently neutral in the war to bring word to Volm, if they are of a high enough standing?
Potentially, yeah. Like a neutral party being a messenger is not unheard of.
And I look to Nute, and in your head, in all of your heads, but looking at Nute, you just hear the words Captain Malice.
Oh God.
Oh, I thought you were talking about one of the elves.
Us. No, I thought about us, but we're not. I was gonna say we're not.
What about, like,
We're not a neutral party.
I was gonna say, I was like, but Hemlock, we're not a neutral.
I'm the most neutral of us.
We killed the dragon that was helping them.
I'm still saying there's a horde somewhere.
I think you'd
I feel
hear
like other people have probably got to that by now.
You would hear Captain Malice, and I think secondly you would hear Naratos. Are two things that just pop into your heads.
Of course, Naruto is always in my head.
To be honest,
The gnomes also.
the issue of the messenger is not the bigger problem. It's who we're sending the message to and how we're sending it.
Understandable.
We have clerics here that can cast sending, but at this stage, because we don't know who the conspirators might be, we are not at the stage of making a blind guess and sending a message to one of the counselors and hoping that they're not one of the ones that are turned. So we're in that stage of care rather than considering who's the right messenger.
Of course.
Look, I need to think about this and also file these. And he kind of shows like the notes he was taking from your little escapade. I want to think about some good news. Congratulations and thank you for holding this thing with the Titan Maple. I'm glad you're back.
Thanks.
Mar-
Marigold will step forward and be like, before we go, Jed, as you know, before I went off to go and get diamonds and things, I was, making potions and selling them to the army, which I'm still happy to do. But I feel that I was being somewhat selfish with my abilities, if you will. I'm actually quite a proficient magical healer, and I know obviously frontline things aren't really happening right now, which is good. But if there were any situations in which you needed that, whether it be with your scouting teams, whether frontline stuff does happen again, whatever it is, I am more than happy to jump into the fray and assist.
Oh wow.
There is plenty of work to go around.
Yeah.
Yes, whether it's frontline stuff or accompanying scout parties with what I believe of your skill set would be very, very useful. And the more I think about it, the more I get worried that if renegade powerful mages with access to strong necromancy and the potential ties to a powerful lich, if a populace was under that care and that mage decided to cut their losses and run with it, that's a lot of undead. Having you healing alongside our ranks would be most appreciated.
Lovely. Well, you know where to find me if you need me.
I'll send word. I'll put the word out and I'll contact you when I've got somewhere for you to go.
Lovely.
All right. Well, I'm going to put this stuff away and meditate on this.
Oh, if you need some help with meditation, I can...
I don't. It was a ton of phrase.
Sorry.
It's all right. Right. Take care.
Love them.
Take some time to rest. If I get more info and I catch you before you've jetted off to your next world-saving adventure, I'll let you know. For now, have a good day. Take care.
You too, Jed.
You too, Jed. Looking good, by the way. I like it.
Yeah, it suits you.
Thank you. Living with a sister, she won't allow me to leave it like it was.
Whoa.
All right. Well, I'll see you guys soon. Regardless. All right, get out.
Gone.
We leave.
Alrighty. He waves you all goodbye as the door swings closed and you make your way out of the building. Where to next?
Oh.
Generic, right?
Generic?
Markos, I believe you have a package to pick up.
I suppose I do, yes.
Do we want
Now
to
that we
get,
have some time.
do we want to get lunch before or after?
On the way?
On the way.
Street food is
Sure,
always
there
good.
is like a street vendor.
See what we can find.
Oh,
Sure.
yes.
Let's say there is some very nice
Hot bush.
duck and kale sandwiches being made. There's like fresh gravy on like big chunks of sourdough.
Hell
What?
yeah.
It's like
What?
hearty as fuck. It's,
What? Add again like meal. Like that.
That.
Yeah, that.
Like
Sandwiches.
pies, lots of stews, lots of like nice. It depends on the season. Pick a spot in Europe. Pick a
Yeah.
meal there.
Fair enough.
We are going into autumn now, so
Yeah.
it's like
So
autumn winter time. Like
Pumpkins.
Yeah. So as you guys pick up your food and make your way, you finally get to that kind of like deep slanted roof, like stone kind of outside building that makes up Daenerys' workshop. You can see kind of whitish smoke billowing out of one of the things. You can see the other, like the buildings nearby that have been converted into extensions of his workshop. You can see like a few people like walking backwards and forwards carrying like crates of materials. You can see like around the place there's like another kind of like row for like tying horses has been added as traffic in general to this location has increased throughout the conflict. As you make your way in, you see standing on a standing quite high stool behind the counter is the gnomish woman, Daenerys' wife, who sees you all in. Gaze kind of glances over each of you, pauses a bit on the black lightning-coated maple and the mushroom lady. Well, hi everyone.
Hey.
One, is there anything I can help you all with? Two, something's ready for you. And she
Hey.
points towards you, Markos.
Oh my god, I did.
As the door closes, you can hear the as the large, like massive framed warforged figure leans
My
out
boy!
through the doorway out of like the vault door to
My
the workshop.
boy!
Hi everyone! Hi everyone!
Love
Hello,
it.
friend.
Hello.
We missed you.
Hey, buddy.
Welcome back.
Thank
Oh.
you. Good to be back.
Alex, I've been looking forward to this. Come on, and he kind of
Well,
immediately
you've
like,
had
gestures
plenty of
towards
time
you
to
and
work on it, my friend.
I have, and I've used it all. And he like turns at the waist, and his legs follow, and he kind of into the workshop. Like
This
there is a slight
giant
skip in
robot
his.
man.
There is a slight skip in his step.
I love him so much!
He's been working on this for like 9 whole days. And
Yeah.
he's so excited.
It's been a bit longer than that. You left it with him before
left
you
it.
left the funeral.
Oh, that's true. Like 2
Yeah.
weeks.
It's been 2 whole weeks.
So, well, first off, you see the workshop is rammed. There are about 7 other people at workstations manufacturing stuff. It appears while conflict may have slowed, there is still much to be made, much work to be done, and so they
Taking
are
on
cracking on with that.
Taking on a couple of apprentices, I see.
They've been helping me out get up the scale of production we've been requested. A lot of research going in. Good news from the front, though. Things are slowing down. Apparently, there's been no big battles recently, but you know,
Yes,
if something does come up,
things
we'll
are
be ready.
very quiet at the moment. That's right. Which is
But-
good news. Good
not
news.
for long. And he kind of wiggles one of his 3 big, like, mechanical claw fingers at you. And you can see, like, as he walks into a section of the workbench, it is all like wood shavings and like metal in vices. And there is one section where it is clear, apart from a small stand with a like dark red rag covering up a rifle-sized object.
Wow.
Now,
He's like, psych, it's a spear.
I may have got carried away. I got told off for this slightly, but I justified it because you killed a dragon, and this counts as a bit of the reward. That's how I justified it. I don't think they bought it, but I'm pretty proud of it.
Okay.
And he like clenches his little fists. He pulls back the rag, and it is your rifle in the sense that like the action is the same. The rest of it is completely different. For a second, you're like, that's just a different weapon. So
definitely not the rifle of Thaddeus.
Theseus.
Theseus
Thaddeus.
Theseus
It's
fucking
the rifle
wishes.
of Thaddeus.
Theseus fucking wishes this was his rifle. So the rifle features a brand new dark brown hardwood stock with brass inlay around the cap at the end, and the wood itself has been carved to look like it has scales along it. Inlaid in brass along the scales toward the back is the rifle's name written in cursive, Colossus Slayer. The body of the weapon is finished with grey iron like skeletal ribs that wrap around the barrel. Beneath it, and kind of like propping up, like set beneath the barrel, is what looks like a spine of heavy, darker iron. You can see like small ridges on it as they splay aside, and immediately your practiced mind as a marksman looks to that as that will stick into wood and provide a very stable firing platform when you are firing from standing with cover. You see the scope of the rifle is the same scope, but it is now protected in a cage modeled like bones. At the end of the cage, kind of wrapping around where the glass of the scope is, you can see what it looks like the skull of a cyclops, where the glass is its large eye.
Oh.
Wow.
The barrel itself is slightly wider than before, and features a pair of parallel brass tubes that slide along surrounding the iron ribs that feed it up towards the front to the muzzle brake. The muzzle brake itself is in the form of a roaring draconic skull, its teeth fused together to form the vents at the side. Under the front and end, a wider steel tube is connected that replaced, like, the spine bit goes for the first half, and then there is a kind of a ribbed metal tube toward the end underneath the muzzle brake that is kind of wrapped and held between draconic, like, arms and claws. Along the bolt carrier itself, as it is like bolt open, breech kind of exposed, you can see written in giant runes across the inside of the bolt, spell out, "The harder they fall." It is like part of you is absolutely like, okay, you get what he means when he says he got carried away.
Yeah. No,
like-
I get what he means in that Andrew got carried away.
Yeah. They're writing a small book on the end of the fucking barrel. Yeah, so put the rune on it.
So, a couple notes on functionality.
I'm
Is
all
it-
ears.
It is a complex weapon. When you roll an attack with the rifle, there is a chance it will jam. If you roll a 1 or a 2 on the dice, it malfunctions. To fix it, you must use a bonus action to make a DC 15 check with your dexterity and proficiency bonus. On a success, it is fixed. On a failure, you are unable to resolve it quickly, and you must use a short or long rest to disassemble and fix. You will always be able to fix it, it's just whether or not you can fix it in the throes of action
Yeah.
or requiring short rest.
It just takes minimum an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also has 3 things it can do. Number 1, concussive blast. By harnessing the explosive power of ammunition, the rifle sends out a short-range burst of flames and force. With the rifle fully loaded, you use an action to expend both loaded rounds to send a blast of flame through the pipes that surround the barrel and into the muzzle, which blasts it in a 15-foot cone. Creatures within it must make a DC 16 dex save or take 3d6 fire and 3d6 force damage and be pushed 10 feet back. On a successful save, they take half the damage and are not pushed back. Firing this rifle fills this tubing with carbon, and it must be cleaned before that can happen again, so you need to use that on a short rest. So you can do that concussive blast once per short rest.
Cool.
Underneath it is the underslung launcher, a low-velocity propulsion enchantment built into the wide tube clutched beneath the barrel of the rifle.
Tube
You
of
can use it-
catapult.
Tube catapult. You can use an action to launch objects up to 3 inches in diameter to a location within 30 feet with moderate accuracy. Once used, it cannot function until the next dawn, until the enchantment recharges, or until the creature with a spell slot uses an action to expend a spell slot of first level or higher to recharge it. To hit a creature directly is difficult. They must make a DC 13 dex save to avoid the projectile. So if you want to hit someone directly with something, they make a dex save.
Yeah.
The final one, charged shot. Hidden within the ribs of the line hidden within the series of ribs that line the barrel, there is a complex series of mechanisms that store energy. You use an action to prime it. You activate a lever near the front of the rifle, and it flexes the ribs outwards, sending tiny arcs of blue energy crackling between the ribs and the barrel. When you fire it next, the ribs all flash into the powerful pulse which accelerate the round. This excess speed allows the bullet to penetrate non-magical armor with ease. For this attack, the target's AC is determined by 10 plus its dexterity unless it is wearing magical armor.
Oh shit!
Big fuck-off creatures with natural armor, just 10 plus your dex. Oh, you're wearing plate armor and a shield, 10 plus your dex.
Colossus Slayer.
It is an action to charge it, so it's not really
Yeah. That's
You've-
a
your
stealth.
first shot. That's a
That's
stealth.
a initiate combat thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has literally like a parchment with all of this stuff written on it, and like how to clean it, a little kind of manual of its components and stuff with a small cleaning kit included that he like packs up into its case as he places the rifle. Like he obviously hands it toward you to get a feel of. Yeah.
This is. Look at this. Did you do this engraving by hand? The cross hatching?
I didn't. He's not here right now. I had an engraver come in to do some of this.
This
For
is
other jobs
amazing.
too. No. Not just for this, but that I had them do this as well. Yeah. Should do all right. I know you guys have been fighting big things like dragons and giants and stuff. So as long as you guys stay hidden at the start, you can probably get a good shot in.
And even bigger things. We fought a giant turtle made of rock the size of a small island.
Yeah,
Sure.
that would have been super useful.
And then we used its heart to bring Maple back to life. Things are crazy.
Things
That's
are-
wild.
This is amazing.
Daenerys didn't know Maple was dead until now.
Oh, right.
It's fine.
Even though she died.
I'm
Yeah,
happy for you.
Actually, maybe he did. Maybe like it spread around Adagan. I don't know.
Fair enough. Markos was just like a little hysterical. He's overwhelmed that someone would be like willing to dedicate so much effort into something
Aw,
for him. He's so happy.
you have the right to be loved, Markos.
So yeah, this is Colossus Slayer. It's the first thing I've made that I felt needed its own name. You know.
Damn.
I know exactly what you mean. I
Yeah.
didn't name any of my equipment, really, but this deserves it.
It's quite pretty, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, I feel so. First of all, I don't think that's true because he did make Maple's hammer, and it was called.
Oh, Winnie's Fist.
True.
That did have a name, but I'm also very sad that that's now gone.
Yeah.
Oh.
I feel
It
really
is a known fact
sad.
that his memory isn't perfect.
Aw.
Oh
Oh.
boy. Is there anything else that any of you guys need? Obviously, we're pretty pushed for commissions for the infantry and stuff.
I
I mean, not anything in
I'm looking for something, but I just came back to life, so I don't have the money for it right now. But I'll come back to you in a while.
we
We
have
have
the
money,
money.
we have money.
What is
Not
it?
worry.
What is it?
I just wondered if you have any slightly more interesting daggers. I've had just like my basic ones for a bit. If you don't, like, no worries, it's not essential.
I
but
don't think I do. I've got mostly like mechanical things.
that's fair. I just wondered while we were here, you know. But it's chill.
Sorry, nothing too much in the way of like daggers or like enchanted things per se. This kind of laundry bit and some of the mechanisms. I got a few friends in from Lumistone to help out with these, but like it's just straight enchanting weapons isn't something that we do too much up here.
People heading back to Lumistone now.
Yeah. A few of them
Good to
heading
hear.
back, but it's not super long journey, so a lot of them kind of work here and kind of go back and forth.
That's good. Yeah, that's good to hear.
A commute, I think they're calling it.
Oh, weird name.
Yeah. Okay, well, if there's nothing else I can help you guys with,
Well, I guess a quick question before we go. Is there anything...
yeah.
I know how obviously excited you get about your work and looking at this with good reason. I mean, is there anything...
Markos still hasn't taken it off the stand.
Is
He's
there anything else
just
that you'd,
looking
that you'd like to show us? Anything you want to show off?
Anything you've been working on?
To be honest, this is just about the only thing I've been getting super excited about. I mean, I'm super excited that like I've got all these people who are helping me. We can get on a lot more material than we did before. I'm mostly just doing small upgrades to light rifles and cannonry stuff. We've been working on a few mechanical changes to some of the cannons, so that it's just faster to load. We've been in a similar way to Markos. Your bullets work, just those bigger. It's been a kind of a challenge to get the right molds and stuff to produce the casings, but we've pretty much got there.
Wait, you're making cannons fire actual bullets? Like a round?
Yeah, and they're big. They're so heavy. But to be fair, cannonballs are too. But then not having to worry about keeping barrels of gunpowder and then stuff separately.
Yeah, no,
is,
the loose powder and...
it makes the
it's not-
logistics of it so much easier.
That's amazing.
We haven't quite got the mechanics yet on the actual working.
Better
prototypes.
range too.
Yeah, depends on the shape. And the rest. We haven't really got the scale of production physically to get like the breech the right size, the barrels working necessarily right. But we're getting there. So whether it's mages from Volm or whatever else it is, or giants from the north, we should be able to excavate a good chunk of viscera from a pretty decent range.
Good to hear.
That's brutal. I love it.
Yeah. Just mechanics, really. You're like,
This
that's a tool bench.
this man has like a programming stutter, but he can say the word viscera
Yeah.
with no trouble.
Practice.
Practice, indeed.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just about what we're working on here. Exciting kind of morbid. To be honest, there have been a few times where I get carried away with the mechanical side of things, and then have to consider the actual impact of it and stuff, and I have to take a bit of a break. But you know, better if someone comes knocking at the door, better they feel the repercussions than you, right? So,
Yes.
I think if someone came knocking on my door, I'd probably just answer it.
well, you know, it's kind of a metaphor for attacking and killing your people.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
That makes a lot more sense.
metaphors go off my head too sometimes. Cool. Well, I think that's just about it. So if there's nothing else I can help you guys with, I'm sorry. I need to get back to
No, of course.
to this. Take care of her, and he hands you like the case for the rifle.
Oh my god.
And I will send you that list and try and mangle that into some. It's difficult making these kinds of items as custom items on D&D Beyond, but we'll figure it out. Yeah. So, is there anything else you guys want to ask, look for, inquire about in Generic's workshop, or are you guys happy to go somewhere else, head home? Please do.
All good.
I think
Head
I
home?
think it's
GG.
yeah, I
Right.
think it's pretty. Remind me, Andrew. There is no a magic shop in Adigan, right?
No.
No.
Not like this is a shop for magic stuff.
Yeah,
There-
exactly.
There are occasionally magical items around the place, usually in someone's possession.
Yeah.
But there is not a shop with magic stuff in it.
Could we maybe stop by the Arcanum, if that's possible, or is that?
You can do.
Yeah. What do you guys? Is
I
that?
would
Is
say
that
if we are going to do that, should we leave that until next week because of the time?
sure? Yeah, of course, of course.
Well,
Yeah.
probably looks at the time, but we also started like 10 minutes late.
Do we want to push
what
10?
you want to do at the Arcanum then?
And it's
It
fine.
takes 10 minutes.
It's quickly. It's just because.
Yeah, if it's a quick check thing, then I've got a moment in mind to cancel it. And if this isn't a big thing, then we should get to that point nice and tidily. In which case,
Okay.
you guys make your way back toward the castle itself. You are welcomed in. Some other servants recognize you, give you a little nod and a wave. And you make your way up the tall spiraling staircases within the castle itself, up toward that large tower that is the Adigani Arcanium. You find they have that kind of spiraling mezzanine balconies, and it is so much tidier than it was last time. They're actually called people, castle staff who are dusting and cleaning things, who are organizing like crates of plain paper, who are outfitting it in a small classroom. And you can see off to one of the sides outside like the main kind of circular space, there is actually a room with a chalkboard and a bunch of chairs and desks and things. But you have the Arcanium to your disposal.
Cool. I'm personally looking for a bestiary or anything that kind of like compiles demons, from the smallest to the to
Demonomicon.
a demonomicon. Yeah, basically, with just like that tells you like that's a bodak, and you're like, okay, that's a bodak, and that does it, or like at least information on stuff. Just trying to learn
Go
about.
ahead and make an investigation check, honestly, with advantage, as there is staff that have been sorting through books that can help you.
Investigation is not good. It's a +2. What the fuck? Oh, it's 17 and 8. That's 19 on
19?
investigation.
You do find a couple mentions. You don't find necessarily like a list of demons, but you actually find in a book of conjuration, there is actually a list of warnings. It does not detail how to conjure demons, but it does detail in some spells that deal in conjuration of fae or beasts or elementals, sometimes they can get hijacked by demons. There are many demons that fucking just want to be summoned because they just want to get to the material plane to start causing havoc. And so it does mention a short list of demons and like a couple of their dangers. It's like if a giant bug-esque one appears, like essentially they all say fucking run. But like it details like their signature thing, and I can send you a list of like a few that it mentions.
Cool, great. Just to prepare for that.
Yeah.
And I kind of nod to Hemlock if you wanted to search for.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. I would like to go back to the house and maybe get set up for
Sure.
thing.
I'll
So-
just take those books if that's fine to the people. If that's fine, can I take those books home for now, and I'll bring them back?
Sure.
Thank you. I'll just great, and we can go back to the mansion.
Alrighty. You guys make your way back. The rain begins once more. As you go on this, it's always this nice kind of long walk. And I feel like if it was a thing that you did every single day, it'd be too long. But being this kind of occasionally going into town is this nice event. You walk and you get very familiar with these beautiful forest-flanked roads. And although the rain picks up again, it's not too cold. It's slightly windy, but there is that very familiar smell of these woods, of this mixed woodland in autumn, bringing through this chill wind as occasional falling leaves cross the path. You find your way back to the house. Scylan is kind of in a room, kind of perched on a bed, like putting his small bag of things out. He's got some incense and stuff that he's setting up.
Hey, tomorrow I will give you a tour. I promise. Got a few things to sort out first, but tomorrow
Sounds
give you
good.
the tour. Whew. Yeah. I guess I will go up to. I don't want to do it outside because it's raining. I'll get everyone, I guess, to come up to my room with me. I'm scared, and I will sit down on the bed, cross-legged, and take out that little clear bottle. Look to Marigold, this goes wrong. You just be quick.
I have it
please.
prepared.
Thank you.
Nice.
Give you look to all of you. Well, here goes nothing, and I'm gonna down one of my 2 potions of Contacts of the Plane.
Yay!
Alrighty. Go ahead and make an intelligence saving throw.
It's DC 15, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boy.
Oh boy.
I have a +9 to this. That's a 27.
Let's go!
Well,
I think that just about does it.
Hemlock, could you roll a d20 for me?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my mind fixed on the name Zugatmoy as well as I'm doing it. That's an 11.
11.
Let's go.
It's
There
above
were
a
20
10.
possible demons, so you got
It's
yourself the
above
11th demon.
It's above a 9.
Hey.
It's more than half, so if it was like a 50-50 chance.
As you swig it back, it is acidic and
Yeah.
tangy on your tongue as
It
it
is,
slides
yeah.
down. And
It is made out of the mushrooms I gathered from the Gordark and miscellaneous Mind Flayer bits. So,
Superb.
It is cold. It's colder than you expect. It's not like the room temperature that it exists in your pouches. It is icy. And your vision blackens. And those of you that are standing around near Hemlock, you see her eyes. It's like someone takes like a dropper and just drops ink into her eyes with black. Hemlock, you're standing in a black space. It is just darkness. Your feet slightly submerged by maybe half an inch of water. There is no light, but you can see yourself, almost as if the palest moonlight is coming down from above. Something cold touches like the back of your neck, and you feel yourself freeze as it curls and wraps around your chin, and then something else cold wraps around part of your forehead, and you feel tendrils pulling, and a voice reverberates through the base of your skull that sends ice falling down your spine.
Long time no.
Oh no! Is
Uh-oh.
we'll pick up next week.
Oh!
oh,
Thank you so much for joining us.
I don't don't think that's a mushroom demon!
No.
We don't know. Look, they might just happen to have the
Andrew
same
just
voice.
has one villain voice, and
Look,
so
yeah,
it
it
could be
could
anyone.
like.
That's what what's the name sounds like? The
No.
mushroom demon lady.
I'm pretty
It's
sure
not-
I
It
remember that's
is.
how they
It's
sound
not-
like.
That's Adam Bohr's voice, guys.
Nah.
Shit is fucking made out of Animfor. It's made out of
Now, what
him.
would that have to do with it, Rowan? Okay.
It really,
I
it's
don't-
most likely unrelated.
Oh my god.
Can't- Oh my god. Maybe you just speaking to his bits. That's what you know.
Oh my god.
Thank you for coming to our D&D show.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
your host, Andrew. Thank you for joining us here on Tasting Tales for this next installment of The Adventures of the Silver Runs. We'll be back
Previous
here.
installment now.
Well, yeah, that was previous. If you want to catch the next one, we'll be back here next Thursday. Thank you for joining. If you joined us halfway through, this is Tasting Tales. We do TTRPGs, and on Thursdays we play D&D. If you want to find out what the rest of we do, check out our socials, just at Chasing Tales RPG, and you'll find all of our incredible upcoming shit. There is new announcements there
Yes.
about something starting on Monday,
We have
and then
some
some shit coming on some Sundays, which I'm
mega
doing the up
cool
for right now,
shit
and it's going to be so
coming.
fucking cool. It's been announced. It's not new information, but it will be clarified with dates and times and shit coming up. So at Chasing Tales RPG on Twitter, go there, find all out what's happening. Thank you again to our friends and supporters at the Cognitive Merchant. As I said previously, purveyors of wonderful handmade leather and vegan leather, dice bags, dice trays, dice cups, LARP gear, wizard hats, whatever you can really ask of them to do. They are incredible and very lovely, so you should go and check them out at thecognitive.merchant.co.uk. I think that's it.
You think?
Maggie, do you want to do stuff? I mean, I think just go and follow us on Twitter. I don't want to like spam people with 5 minutes.
Can I just say, I just dropped the lid of my Cognitive Merchant dice cup and it rolled all the way off my desk onto the floor and out of my bedroom.
So
So
that ain't a sign for us to make our exit as well.
Hey. I'm gonna do a teensy promo.
Go for the promos.
Just so people know where to go.
Yes.
So various players of this table
Are you also-
throughout the week are on Kilted Cajun's channel tomorrow. On Witch and Craft several days in the midweek and the weekend. As always, we are continuing Cyberpunk on Sunday afternoon.
Hell yeah.
And there's some new Cyberpunk stuff that came out recently, so you might wanna be there.
You should be there.
And then, as Andrew said, very exciting thing, starting on Monday, Andrew is running a two-shot of the Tales of Xadia RPG.
That's right.
Based on the Dragon Prince TV series. We have some amazing players for that. It's going to be
Thanks,
fucking
Maggie.
cool. I'm excited, and I'm not even in it. So
It's cool.
we've got Taylor from Backwater Bastards, if you listen to that show. We have Dan from That One Fun. We have Sheena, I believe, from Fourth Culture. And obviously, Jordan Stavrakis of Chasing Tales fame.
Who is this man?
How did you land him?
Dan's
His
doing
contracts
custom
are
artwork
way
for all
expensive.
Dan's doing custom artwork of all of the player characters. And
no way!
it's so
He
good.
is. We retweeted one of those on our Twitter already, and I imagine Dan will be posting the rest of them throughout the weekend. So
Yeah, it's fucking rad.
come and watch it. It's gonna be so cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah,
Cool.
I'm done.
Is there
So
anything
cool.
else? Okay. I wanted to move us away slightly from the full rambling everything. David.
I have one thing, and it was that Tal
Go for
redeemed
it.
the hydrate.
Oh, right.
Oh, I finished my milkshake.
Drink
Ah.
us out, everybody.
I have
Drink us
nothing.
out. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next week, and we'll see you in our other various shows if you want to be along with those. Meg, also, your barbarian makeup. It's pink and it looks pink and yellow. It's Chasing Tales colored.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is.
theme, yeah.
Hey!
It is.
Alright.
Is
Real quick
there
thing.
anyone we can raid?
I say, who are we raiding?
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Who's live? Who's live right now?
Do you have any friends live now?
Chaotic Lawful is live. They're doing Pro Bono Week, which is a bunch of charity stuff.
Fuck
You should go
yes,
and
do
read
it.
them.
Yes,
I
do
play
that. Give them
Pathfinder.
love.
Well, I've just realised because of OBS being dumb and stinky, I need to open up
I can do it if you paste the exact channel name for me, because I don't know it.
That'd be
I will.
wonderful. Thank you, David.
Because I'm mod, and I can do that thing.
Chaotic Lawful _ink, I think.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I believe
beautiful
I'm not
mod
mod.
here.
Popped it in
Is
roll 20.
Chaotic Lawful
Okay,
_
yeah.
ink.
If you're close
Sounds
enough,
right.
I think it finds the channel for you.
Yeah, it doesn't care about capitalization, or just the underscore would have messed it up. And we're raiding!
There we go.
Uh,
Give 'em some
Bye.
love. We do love
Give
Chaotic
them love.
Lawful.
I
You love.
Bye.
Mariah's
Thanks, everybody.
See you,
Catch
buddy.
soon.
Bye!
Enjoy